94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones says she wants the city to hold a re-vote on Props A and B and the Spurs Downtown Arena funding. She claims the city's budget deficit might change voters' minds on the city's funding of the Spurs Arena. Dallas Cowboys moved on from edge rusher Charles Snowden over the weekend and signed offensive lineman Sebastian Gutierrez. Snowden was signed in June but has been suspended for the first 3 games and is dealing with a groin injury.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagle. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, it is a beautiful Monday afternoon on the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California. Cowboys training camp day 1 for us, day 1 in the pads for the Dallas Cowboys. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. That's Jason Minix, and you feel the buzz around here when they put those pads on, man. It's football.
It is football, and it's funny because it's a nice, sunny 75 degrees here, a little warm. And it was, an hour and a half ago, maybe a lot cooler, another 7-8 degrees because the marine layer was still there. And, some of the guys that we were talking to with the Cowboys were like, yeah, man, finally we get a good weather day. Thanks for bringing it. And then the marine layer burns off right as the boys get ready to go to practice, and it's hot again.
Yes, it is hot again, but define hot. I mean, my goodness, these people out here in Oxnard, it's like, please, you want hot? Let's go to Dallas, go to San Antonio. That's hot.
This is going to get on the board. Now, we say that. Now, we are what we are, and we know we can be a little diva-ish. Yesterday,
speak for yourself, dude.
Yesterday, we get into our Airbnb, and it's 85 degrees in there. And one of us, Joe Reinagle, freaking out that he can't find the air conditioner, trying to find every fan opening, every window, bitch. I'm like, dude, we're at the beach. These places don't have AC.
Oh, that's baloney. Every other house we've been in here in Oxnard has had AC.
This is true.
This one does not. And I'm
messaging the lady. She's like, yeah, we don't have one.
No air conditioning. So you got to open up every window. There's fans all over the place. It was hot in that house. I will say, though, once the sun goes down and it's nice and the wind starts blowing, it wasn't too bad. But look, I don't care where we're at. You got to have AC.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness.
Yes. I mean, we do. I mean, dude, it was hot, stuffy. But once the air started moving through the house, it was nice. I mean, that's what we're going to bitch about. It's like the car rental place. If you're flying in the LAX, it was never easy. And it's such a complete bleep show right now because apparently there is all kinds of construction that was supposed to be done before the World Cup. Remember that thing?
I do.
It's happened. Well, now it's going to be maybe ready in time for the Olympics. But their car rental thing is just stupid at this point. And it was a Seinfeld episode. We get to the Fox Rent-A-Car, and we go through the whole process, all the paperwork, and they're like, just sit over there. I'll call you when the car's ready. Like, what do you mean the car's not ready? And we don't have cars. It's like, dude, we have a reservation. Well, I can upgrade you for $49 a day. I can't do that. It's corporate. It's in the budget. I would, but I can't.
Yeah, the suits would have lost their minds.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding? Right? So then it's like we've got to go. I mean, we got places. It's already been 2 freaking hours since we've landed in LA just to get from the airport to the car rental hub, which maybe it will be nice once they finish everything, including the tram. But how do you have reservations for a car and not have the cars? It felt like a Seinfeld episode. The gentleman I was talking to had never heard of Jerry Seinfeld. The guy next to him was laughing his ass off because he knows exactly which episode I was talking about. And guess what? After about, 20 minutes or so, they gave me the car that would have been the $49 a day upgrade, because here, this one's ready. Just take it.
See, it sometimes it behooves you to bitch and moan and cry.
We were not bitching. We were nice.
Well,
and trying to make them laugh.
I don't know, because I remember you came over and said, "Sit down. We got to wait." I said, "Are you effing kidding me?"
Well, yes.
And I think I said that loud enough for everybody in there, including little children in there. But it's like, what? It's like, are you effing kidding me? Please.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yep.
I don't know if that made a difference or not, but we finally had the car, got to the house, and it's all good. It's all good.
Got here, got set up. Make sure you're following along on social media.
Yes.
SA Sports Star on Instagram, the San Antonio Sports Star Facebook page. A lot of behind-the-scenes content. And you see how much I really work and how little Joe actually works. Just go there. You understand what I'm dealing with. I mean, dude's even bitching about the mirror in the bathroom.
Dude, Minix picked this house because it suits him.
Whoa. I did not pick this house. Otherwise, we'd have air conditioning and could actually see the water from our beach house. Instead, we get the sand dunes and the water's on the other side.
Dude, let me tell you something. So I get in the shower, right, and I gotta bend down so to get underneath the shower head.
What do you think, you're Wemby size now?
Well, in this house, I am.
The shower was fine.
For you, it was great. And then the mirror on the wall, it cuts my head off. Like, right, if you're watching on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. I'm right here. So my legs got a hell of a workout today.
Were you in there doing squats trying to?
Well, I had to get down so I could see what the hell I was doing.
I had no issues with the mirror. Joe comes out of the bathroom bitching, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Then I mean, I'm a tall 5'7". It was perfect for me. I did not pick this house, though. Corporate did.
Yeah, they did. Look, it's all good. But, that's just kind of the stuff we go through. We give you a tour of the house if you want to see that. And a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff we're going to be doing here from Cowboys camp. There will be a video posted if it's not posted already. Interesting press conference today by Brian Schottenheimer. And I thought he was very outright and very, very transparent today with what they're going to do. He basically admitted there will be no starters playing in the preseason games, with the exception perhaps of Caleb Downs, who is a rookie, who everybody knows is going to be a starter. He's going to be out there day one, but just to give him some reps. But as far as Dak Prescott, a CeeDee Lamb, a George Pickens, Javonte Williams, those guys won't see the field during the preseason.
No, and again, they generally don't. Joint practices are encouraged for that reason. But I'll tell you what, we weren't, 5 minutes into Brian Schottenheimer's press conference. It was nice. He was walking up to the podium. He stopped, shook hands, said hello to us, which was cool. And Joe was very nice to him. And then he gets up there, and then Ryan Engel's head was about to explode. Pledge, cut one.
One, we got to evolve. I mean, we have to change the things that we didn't like last year, that we didn't do very well. We got to find ways to complement the things that we did well. We need, a couple more guys to continue to step up, not named Pickens and Lamb, and that's the Flournoys of the world. It's some young tight ends, Jaden Blue, things like that. And then, I've been very open and honest. I really do believe that this offense is going to be driven by our offensive line. Our ability to move people, our ability to knock people back in the run game, our ability to pass protect. I think that's incredibly critical, and we've got a few position battles going there. So I love it. I love the confidence, but we have to go out and do it.
That's it. And then he dropped the word Gotti, and Ryan Engel's head was about to
I was
explode.
like, I go,
yeah.
I almost lost my breakfast this morning.
Stop.
So that's the theme here. I will say, though, Brian Schottenheimer, one of the nicest dudes in the world, walked by, took some time to chat with us as he's going to the podium for his daily press conference, and just all good. And everybody out here, we're very fortunate here at San Antonio Sports Star that the Dallas Cowboys treat us very well. We get just as much access as anybody else, and it's so I appreciate that from all of these guys. However, the whole Gotti thing's got to go. And I even mentioned on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, Jason, that we need to boycott that on this radio program. Can we just boycott that? Maybe that should be our poll.
No, our poll question is going to be something else. We haven't discussed it yet because we're going to get into what our poll question is going to be, because our lovely mayor has decided that she wants to push for yet another second vote for the Spurs Arena, which we've already voted. We voted yes. Props A and B were passed by Bexar County residents, which are also San Antonio residents. I think our poll question needs to be, do we need another vote for the arena? A simple yes or no. And the no's I expect to win a gazillion to nothing. Why the mayor is wasting the time with this, stirring this pot, the expense, while she's trying to save money and cut the deficit. And I realize apparently the city's, $158 million in the hole?
Correct.
Yeah, that's a problem. But this money isn't coming out of the general fund. Remember all the things that we learned about? We're going to get a refresher course in how that money is going to be applied and spent through the different bonds and the TERSs and the this and the that, the hotel taxes and that sort of thing. We thought we were going to do that with former Mayor Ron Nirenberg today, but he can't. So Mark White is going to join us at 4:35. And kind of revisit and a refresher course. I don't want to say re-educate, but a refresher course on what San Antonio voters have already passed. But I'm also thinking, this mayor, if you're trying to save money, why another election where gazillions of dollars would be spent for and against, depending on where you are on the arena, putting it on the ballot? Why would she want to spend those dollars and that energy as opposed to spending that energy on other ways that you're going to be able to solve the $158 million problem that by all accounts she inherited? It's not like she got the city into the mess, but she's trying to get the city out of it. But there's got to be other ways to get that done.
Well, the problem is it's a politician's trick.
Yep.
She's trying to scare the hell out of everybody.
Yep.
This money cannot be used to solve the deficit.
Yep.
It can't be. It's impossible. It's not allowed. So everything she is saying is just completely false. And I'm going to stop and not say she's lying about it, but she's lying about it.
Well,
she flat out is, because you cannot use this money for the deficit or anything else other than building that arena or improvements to the downtown. You can't use it for anything else. So everybody that she's got scared, and I've seen some of you on social media, with this, you can't use that money for that. You can't. So it's a waste of time to even talk about another election or vote or whatever you want to say. It is just complete waste of time.
Well, and again, even having council discuss it, because the majority of the council would have to agree by August 17th to get it on the November ballot. And I again, for the life of me, I don't understand. While she says she wants a deal, I don't know. I think the only deal accepted, it feels like the only deal that would be acceptable to the mayor is if the Spurs paid for the new arena 100%. And that's not going to happen. The city is on the hook for $489 million. I believe that's about the number what the Spurs said they're going to put in. The Spurs also said, if I remember correctly, that there's going to be $75 million in community contributions. We know what Bexar County has already done. I just have no idea why she continues to try to stir this pot.
Well, I'm not sure why she's doing this either. It's just it's unbelievable to me. Sometimes you just got to take the loss and move on and do something else. And I'm not sure why she wants to fight this battle, especially after the Spurs go to the NBA Finals. They're as popular as they've ever been. With Wemby re-signing his deal, he's going to be here for the foreseeable future. And I just don't understand why she picks this battle to fight. But we are going to talk to Mark White coming up about 4:35 this afternoon, and he can maybe shed some light on why she's doing this and why she's trying to waste the people of San Antonio and Bexar counties just complete time. We are at Dallas Cowboys training camp, however, and so we'll talk a lot about that. Jerry Jones talking yesterday. I think he did his round with the TV stations yesterday, and he had some interesting things to say to the Dallas Fox affiliate about a variety of things, including Tony Romo and curtains. Curtains?
Or tent.
Huh.
Maybe.
Wow. We'll see. We'll hear from Jera when we continue live from Oxnard, Dallas Cowboys training camp. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Missions fans, celebrate Tuesdays for the Cultura at Wolf Stadium with AARP $2 Tuesdays. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more every Tuesday home game. Get your tickets at samissions.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hop in a John Deere Gator XUV for a day's work. Let's see what's on the to-do list. There goes the tree. And the fence. Not a problem. Because you've got a cargo box filled with solutions. Up to 4,000 pounds of towing capacity. And you're ready to roll.
The power's out!
Here we go again. The Gator XUV. Built for every kind of workday. Learn more at johndeere.com/Gator XUV. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Football season is almost here, and just in time for kickoff, the new Roo Pub will be open in New Braunfels, in Creekside near the Buc-ee's. You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch any big game, any big event, and the New Braunfels location will be no different. Heading to the coast, check out the Roo Pub in Rockport, and of course the OG Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road is the perfect place for your fantasy draft. Roo Pub number 3, opening soon in New Braunfels. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California, Dallas Cowboys training camp is where we are. The Cowboys right now in the fields behind us, practicing in pads for the first time this training camp. And interesting stuff certainly coming from Brian Schottenheimer today, and how they're going to address this and what they're looking for and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. Good stuff from Schotty today. That press conference was very transparent in my mind.
Well, it was. And again, I mean, you know, one of the things that they know they want to work on is red zone offense. And I love that he talked about other guys, not Pickens, not CeeDee Lamb, and we can't kick that many field goals when you've got an offense that wants to be Gotti.
Yeah, it was a big emphasis for us in the offseason. We did a bunch in phase 1 and phase 2. We really did a deep study into it. We spent more time on it. The guys have been doing some of that. They did that out in Park City, more of the red zone throws. You know, we know where we came up short. A lot of it was things that we hurt ourselves with, you know, penalties and self-inflicted wounds down there. But, you know, we're too good to be kicking the field goals that we were kicking. And I think that's part of the Gotti, you know. I mean, if we're going to truly be that, then we have to score touchdowns on the red zone.
Oh, Schotty, don't go there. Don't go there. You know, but he's going to. I mean, if Dak said it, it's gospel.
I mean, and again, because it got public, I think now you just have to embrace it and run with it. That's one of those things that they probably wish they could have kept in-house, but now that it's public. Now we'll ask, Terrence Steele is going to join us in a little more than an hour or so. We'll see, you know, his thoughts on Gotti, and he's going to be a team guy. but also just the different movements that are out there with the offensive line. So it will be interesting. You guys paying attention, wanting to know all the different things, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. And we're kind of jumping around because there's just so much news around the Cowboys from over the weekend, just trying to catch up on everything. And, of course, Jerry, as he does every year, first weekend, he sits down with all the different Dallas area TV stations, for that matter, the TV stations that were out here. I know
San Antonio,
Larry Ramirez from KSAT, he sat down with them. But, there were a couple of interesting things that he did say over the weekend. And one was he was asked about Tony Romo and that DWI, OWI arrest in Wisconsin.
Well, I very much have had a chance to talk to him, and I've been talking to him. I love him. I love what he's about. I love his character. I love his love of sport. And he's a very, very unique talent. And the real question is, and I don't even have to ask what the answer is, do you think Tony Romo knows how to get up when he gets knocked down? Okay, he had a life of that. And absolutely, that's one of his greatest attributes, is that he can handle adversity. And so this is something that he will work through. He is a unique talent. His vision was just mesmerizing when he was a player. But he sees things and can articulate it so instantly. He'd walk out under center out of practice, and the defense would have 12 people out there, and it'd take him about a second to say, Coach, we got 12 guys out here. Get one of them off on the deal. He just sees it, and then it goes. He has that skill. It's made him a great, great portrayal of the story of football games. So obviously I'm a big fan of his family, and let me tell you right now, he's as real as he sounds. He feels every downtime. He feels every uptime.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of love there from Jerry Jones to Tony Romo, and vice versa. So, like, I regardless of how you feel about Tony Romo, nobody wants to see anybody go through this. I certainly don't. And you just got to love on the guy and hope that he bounces back, whether he stays with CBS or not, long term. But he will. He'll land on his feet, and he's going to be just fine.
Well, he's going to be just fine especially from a financial standpoint. But, when CBS announced his suspension indefinitely and his moral clause, and there is so much debate about his contract with some of the national media types as maybe the worst in broadcasting, because he isn't as good now as he was when he first got in with the recall and everything that he was doing. But you hear that from Jerry and a lot of speculation. If anybody could save Tony's job with CBS, it's Jerry Jones making phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry could have answered that question a lot of different ways. Just, we're here to support him and just move on from it. But hearing just all of that, you got to feel like Jerry is going to go to bat for Tony Romo in that situation. Because, again, he could have answered that in a gazillion different ways in about 15 seconds, that we love him, made a mistake, you were here to support him. But that's not what he did. It's almost like, I will save his job. I'll do everything I can to save his job.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry's already put in a call to somebody at CBS that is influential. Look, to suspend him for a little bit is normal. And I think just to get this out of the way, the question is going to be, will CBS try to use this to get out of they still owe him about $70 million on his contract.
Yep.
So will they use this to try and get out of that contract? And I think that's when a guy like Jerry Jones will come on and try to do something at least.
Well, and again, you go from there. Now, again, all kinds of, from Tony Romo to, Curtin's intent looked pretty good during the World Cup. Any chance that becomes permanent there at Jerry World?
Well, do you know something? Thinking about it and doing something about it are two different things.
For sure. If you think about it, you could do something.
But I think about it. It's hard to tell that time of the year because the sun's not the same this time of the year that it is in the fall. and that is you get on and the sun changes, and the angle of that sun changes from September through the year round. But as we look at it, I like some of the effects of the tinting, and so we're giving that a thought.
Wow, which is a big change.
It's movement.
I mean, tint, not curtains. And I think maybe for that's a game changer for him, because you'll still, I guess, have a little bit, although the sun won't be shining inside nearly as brightly as it has been. But that is a change of pace. At least he's going to think about it.
Now, again, this is something that he's been very stubborn on, very bullish since they built that stadium. And again, even they built that stadium knowing that was going to be an issue. Most stadiums are built, north-south. He went east-west because aesthetically what it looks like on TV certain times of the year. So for him to at least see it and go, you know what, maybe this isn't bad. Maybe. I mean, although he did say thinking about it and doing something about it are two very different things. But Mike Ducey from Fox was quick to point out, but if you're thinking about it, you are the actual only person that can make something happen.
Jerry, stick to your guns, buddy. Stick to your guns.
Stop.
You did it for a reason. You wanted it that way. It's your stadium, for goodness sake. Stick to your guns. Let these guys cry.
Oh, stop.
Come on.
Stop. Just Jerry keep talking to me about going to the Super Bowl.
With the New York Giants habit, when we open up, is to put it in right out here at training camp. It can't come out if it doesn't go in.
What?
That's the point.
We're still talking football.
Obviously, you inspire us. I'm talking about Oxnard. You inspire us with the story of Oxnard, the makeup of the citizens of Oxnard. You inspire us. And this is a time when, as a team, when it's great to look for inspirational, because there's a lot on the line for a lot of people, what each one of these guys do out here over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm so glad they're doing it in the positive support of the people of Oxnard. I wouldn't trade anything for it. So I just want to welcome you here today, and I want to include you all the way, every step of the way, as we build this team, and let's get this team to the Super Bowl. Great to be with you guys. Great to be with you.
That was Saturday's opening ceremony where he was explaining certain things, but I'm not sure what he was actually explaining.
Well, you got to put it in before you can take it out.
Sure.
So, I mean, that just seems basic to me.
Well, put that in football terms.
Well, you got to put it in before you can pull it out.
Again, football terms.
I know what he was trying to say, obviously. He's getting roasted on social media for those comments, by the way. But, yeah, you got to put in the work. And I think that's exactly what he's talking about. You got to put it in out here, put in the work out here. And then that would, good work here starts a journey that could lead to the Super Bowl. The Cowboys have a team out here. They're about as confident, I think, as I've seen them. What's interesting about this year so far, and just the short time we've been here, Jason, is the attitude of everybody that's here. I think everybody has a hope that this Cowboys team can be something different than it has been. I know, what was it, 2 years ago we were out here and my gosh, you thought it was a funeral for the 3 weeks of training camp out here. Everybody was just depressed and the Cowboys were doing nothing. They weren't going anywhere. And this is just a complete change than what it was then. And even last year, a complete change in the attitude and the body language of everybody.
It's interesting because a couple 3 years ago, it did have a unique vibe, dare I say, a negative vibe.
Oh, horrible.
You had Mike McCarthy going into the final year of his contract. It just didn't have the same juice, the same energy. And again, normally, I mean, you've been out here, 20 some odd years. Same with me. It's we talked about it then. I remember Brad Chan was like, and it's like, all right, but it was a weird, different camp. Last year was kind of a weird energy because it was Brian Schottenheimer's first as a head coach. And, every new head coach does things a little bit differently. So the schedule was kind of out of what our normal routine is, even though the Cowboys do try to keep things on a pretty consistent thing. But, I mean, there were big differences between the way Jason Garrett did things and Mike McCarthy. And last year, Schottenheimer trying to keep things like it was with Mike, but with his own little twist on it. So it was, this year it does. I mean, as soon as you get here, just the energy, the level. Now, granted, it's also first day in pads. And, when we were walking in, the people that were lined up, they picked the right day to get out here because they're going to see some hitting. They're going to see some good football stuff.
Well, even some of them didn't know. Did you notice when we walked in, we were shooting a little video about first day in pads, and some guy said, "Are they going to be in pads today?"
Yeah.
So people showing up out of here, it doesn't make any difference. They just want to come out here and witness some of the action. But they are practicing as we speak right behind us in the practice fields here at the, it used to be a Marriott. It's a Staybridge Suites, I guess.
Yeah,
something like
a
that.
Holiday Inn.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
and it's
Staybridge is IHG.
Whatever it is,
yeah.
It's still the same place to us, and we're in the same spot on the tennis courts, and happy to be here. That is for sure. So a lot of Cowboys talk for sure. We got Brian Schottenheimer. We will hear from him coming up throughout the show as well. And then again, Terrence Steele. Joining us here about 3:35-ish, something in that neighborhood. Of course, Terrence Steele, a San Antonio product, and needing to have a pretty good season this year. I think a little rebound season. So we'll talk to Terrence Steele here coming up a little over an hour or so. In the meantime, let's get back to what's happening in the city of San Antonio. Mayor O.J. trying to pull a fast one. We want to hear from you as well. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. We do have a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. It's a very simple question. Do we need a new vote or another vote on the Spurs' new arena? Very little votes right now, about 20, and it is 100% to none. No. And that's what it is right now. But we'll talk about it when we continue here live from Cowboys training camp in Oxnard. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Nigel, I'm going on vacation. Don't touch anything.
I won't let you down. Enjoy your time off, J-Dog.
Folks, it's good to take time off, but your home's plumbing and air conditioning, well, when they decide to take a surprise vacation or start working overtime, that's a problem. Call Quarter Moon and we'll get things back on track, working right and at a fair price. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Okay, team, I've supercharged the coffee machine. It's extra hot and dispenses 10 times faster. Allow me to push the button. Quick, call the plumber!
License number TACLA 88589E M1600.
Life is too short to drive the same car every day. A Pascucci Prestige membership gives you access to an incredible collection of exotic and luxury vehicles whenever you want to change things up. Learn more at PascucciPrestige.com.
Uncover the root of your problems and improve the quality of your life. I'm Dr. Torres from the Institute for Functional Health. For more than a decade, we have helped people restore energy, vitality, libido, and drive. Most patients come to us because they feel unheard or stuck. Schedule your discovery day. We'll talk about your history, run advanced testing, and build a personalized plan that fits your life. We have helped thousands of people just like you. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
It's a hot spot on your dog's leg. But the internet says you can treat it at home. You're not sure though, because now it's oozing.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Ooh, he's licking it. Super gross, dude.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
How about
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you in part by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back here in Oxnard, Dallas Cowboys training camp, first day in pads. They're getting after it right now, as a matter of fact, on the fields behind us. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and they've kind of turned the music down a little bit. It was pretty loud earlier.
Yeah, I'm guessing stretching. Once they get into some of the team periods, they turn the music down. So we'll keep you updated with what's going on the practice fields behind us here in Oxnard, California. And while we are in 75-degree weather right now with a nice breeze about 13 miles an hour off the ocean, we know what's going on in San Antonio. And Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones sending a memo late Saturday night saying, hey, you know what we need to do? Let's have yet another vote on the Spurs Arena. Maybe all these people change their minds that we don't want to fund this the way voters already approved with Props A and Props B.
You know, Jason, I guess I don't understand it. I don't think Gina Ortiz Jones is a dumb person. I think she's very smart. But I just don't understand why she's doing this, because even if they voted for the money that's allocated cannot be used for the general fund. It would do nothing for the deficit of this city. Not a thing. It's allocated for the Spurs Arena. It's allocated for improvements, and that's it. Not any of that is coming from the general fund or will go to the general fund. And so I just don't understand why she's picking this fight, and especially at this point in time. It just makes absolutely no sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me, and I think the mayor is trying to confuse the general public with this BS. Now, again, and I say that because Bexar County voters, which happens to be San Antonio voters, have already approved the contributions part of it. And she said in her memo, since they pay twice, city voters deserve to vote twice. What the hell does that mean? Well, I guess, because paying for the arena twice, since they live in both the city and the county, how much residents, according to the Express News, will actually pay toward the project construction will likely be minimal, since few stay in local hotels or use rental cars, and only property taxes from the new housing commercial properties built around the arena will be used to repay the city bonds issued for the facility. So if you're living out in, pick a neighborhood, Alamo Ranch, Stone Oak, anywhere, that's your property taxes. If they go up, it's to pay for the other money, not for this arena. Now, granted, you're going to a concert, maybe in the bad example because I don't think it's in effect yet, but let's say, Bruno Mars is playing on a Wednesday night, September 23rd. You decide, you know what? My wife wants to go. Why don't we get a hotel downtown? We're going to stay there at the Marriott, walk over to the Alamo Dome for Bruno Mars, and we're going to have a hotel night. Sure, your contribution there. But if you go home, you're not paying for the dome. It's dumb, and she's playing politics, and that pisses me off.
Well, it is ridiculous. It's a political trick, but I don't know what she has to gain from it. There's people on the city council that are smart people as well, and they know exactly where this money is coming from, where it's going, and how it has to be allocated. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's almost like she just woke up yesterday or whenever she made these comments and said, you know what? I haven't been in the news lately. I need to stir something up. I'm going to say something really stupid and have everybody talking about it on radio and TV and newspaper and everything else. And it just seems to me like that's exactly what she's done here, because what she is doing, in my mind, makes absolutely no sense. The problem is, Jason, is that you are going to have a faction of people who buy what she is selling hook, line, and sinker. And I think most people won't, which is good. But I just think that there are going to be a percentage of people that are going to buy this line of BS.
Now, granted, there were a lot of people that were against public money for an arena. There are people that are always against that. I call them cave people, civilians against virtually everything. But it was 52%. So maybe she's just wondering, although with the Spurs going to the finals, I wonder if 52 would go higher. Maybe she's betting it would go lower. But as it clearly reads in the Express News today, residential and commercial taxes on property citywide support the city's general fund, which pays for basic services. In other words, money that's paying off arena bonds isn't paying for libraries, street improvements, or other core services. So, again, the way this was set up, and I wish former Mayor Ron Nirenberg would have come on with us today, but his team politely declined to re-educate and remind us all the stuff we learned about TERSs and how this money could be affected. And again, if it's not used here for this arena, it will be used for, I don't know, a convention center in another city. It cannot be used for libraries or some of those other core services. That's the part that I feel like she is playing politics and trying to confuse people. She can't the same dollar can't be applied to the same different projects. I realize and respect what the mayor is trying to deal with to fix or, work around the $158 million deficit that she did inherit. And that was under Mayor Ron Nirenberg's watch. But she's trying to clean up a mess, but this isn't the way to do it. And it feels like one of the last things Ron did while mayor was getting this to the ballot. And is she trying to take a shot at that? Now, of course, Ron Nirenberg is running for county judge. He's the Democratic nominee for that election in November. So, maybe they're not playing friendly politics, but this whole thing just seems ridiculous. And I appreciate the Express News' reporting, because some of those that were on Gina's side initially, remember it was 7-4 when the council voted. Yeah. Some of those have said, no, we don't need to do this because the voters have already spoken. So now one did say, yeah, let's go to a vote, but in a text message to the Express News wouldn't elaborate. So basically he's saying, if Gina wants it, I'm going to support her, because there is no detail there. Now, Mark White has opposed Gina Jones on a lot of things. He will join us coming up at about 4:35.
And again, just go with me here. So say the city council goes along with the mayor, and we have another vote in November, and it's a no. We're going to wake up the day after that election and say, you know what, we still have a $158 million deficit, and that no vote, it changes nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's why this is just so baffling to me that this would come up and would be even a thing, because everyone you talk to, every report you see says exactly what we're saying right now. This money will not help that deficit one penny.
So
will not help it.
So that 489, if voters in November were to say no, it wouldn't help the 158?
No. It would not. It would go to, I don't know, maybe they build a nice new building in Austin, or maybe Corpus Christi needs a nice new something or other, or Dallas or Houston. That money would then be shifted away to build a project somewhere else in this great state of Texas. That's all it would do. That's it. Wouldn't solve our money problems at all. And so that's what I cannot wrap my head around what she is trying to do here. And I can't wait to hear from Mark White coming up in a moment. And by the way, we had somebody on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page ask us why we don't get the mayor on. We've tried. We have asked her, I don't know how many times, to come on this program, especially during that vote. Now, maybe we will try again, but she has refused every time. In fact, there's been many times where we just get crickets. We don't hear anything. So she is welcome on this program at any point in time. She wants to call us right now. We would take her call, and she could have her say.
No, I will be honest. To be fair, we did not try to get her on today. Maybe I'll send a text. But I don't know. You get turned down 20 or 30 times. It's like asking for, I don't know, the Spurs head coach. At some point you just stop asking because you know what the answer is going to be. But you're right. In fairness, we probably should try to get her on. Sam says we should get the fake mayor on again.
We could probably make that happen.
I don't remember having a fake mayor on. What are you talking? We would never have a fake guest. What are you guys talking about? And I said something like this in a video yesterday, and I've seen a couple. Can we redo the mayoral election? I wonder if we were to have a mayoral redo, what the response would be. Just curious.
Well, again, I just don't think it's going to happen. And if it's just such a waste of time. I think the city of San Antonio would be a laughingstock around the country. Not that I give a damn, but it's like, it'd be like, why? What are you doing this for? It is a complete waste of time. And again, Madam Mayor, you are welcome on this program at any point in time. We have no issue with that. You want to come on and set us straight? If we've got it wrong or you think we do, you're more than welcome to come on this program. We would definitely take your call and hear your side of this story. There's no question about it.
Now, I will say, though, and again, I try not to be this guy, but, had that vote not gone the way it did on Props A and B, even though the Spurs have always said they are committed to staying in San Antonio. You look at what's going on in Portland right now. Now, I realize they've got a new owner, and that dude is one cheap SOB. Not a fan of the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, Tom Dundon, partly because he lied to my face directly, but I see what he's doing. and in Portland, they're very concerned that they're about to lose their basketball team. And they should be. They're not even apparently meeting with the city of Portland. And Portland kind of feels like, yep, we're about to lose the Trailblazers, and there's nothing they can do about it. It is always out there. Not a concern that I have right now, because I just don't see that this mayor is going to win this battle at all. But what she is doing is making life a hell of a lot more difficult for the San Antonio Spurs. And when you talk about trying to be a good partner, how is this Miss Mayor trying to be a good partner to the San Antonio Spurs? They weren't going to pay that fee for the soccer stadium. The Bexar County told them not to worry about it. And, you pressed. You got that win. And we congratulate you for it, because very few wins that I've seen the mayor have when it comes to anything involving sports. I don't pay attention to daily politics, but hey, man, she got the Spurs to pay that money. To me, that was a sign from the Spurs that they are trying to be a good partner and work with the current mayor and staff. Yep, you're right. We owe it. We don't want to write this check, but we do owe it. It's in the contract. Oh, they're paying the city back that portion of it. And again, she's apparently looking for every nickel she can, but there are legal ways in which you can spend money. And the money for this arena can't be used legally for general fund or some of the other things that are there. Now, city's in a deficit. She inherited a problem. She's trying to fix it. I just don't agree that this is the best course of action to fix the city's problems, is piss off the San Antonio Spurs and their fans.
Well, that's absolutely not the way to do it, especially now. It's just not. And I'm trying to think of a rational reason why she's doing this, and I can't think of one. I honestly cannot think of one at all, other than maybe she promised somebody or a group of voters that she would stand up to the Spurs no matter what. We are not going to have these billionaires, and we're not going to do whatever. I'm not sure why she's doing this. And again, I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, because I know she's a smart person. I know she is. But that's why that makes this all the more baffling to me, that she would bring this up and want another vote that, even if she won, would not help her deficit problem one bit.
But it certainly, I think, would create a bunch of other problems, because the Spurs do need a new arena. And no matter what the mayor says, they're not going to pay for the whole thing. Very few stadiums are built with 100% private funds. Could they? Sure. But you just look at the notoriety that the Spurs, that Victor Wembanyama now is bringing San Antonio. Think about the exposure that the Spurs had while they were during this last run to the NBA Finals. So much greater because of social media than when Tim Duncan was leading the Spurs to the finals. And you get a player like Vic, just got the new signature shoe deal from Nike. What did Nike say in their press release? Generational worldwide superstar. You've got Wemby over in France right now. They're doing some stuff with the Spurs, putting out some courts, RCs over there. Apparently, 6-8 guys are actually going to go to France to get work in with Vic. And everywhere those guys are going, they're talking about San Antonio. Now, a marketing study could probably be done to give you the value of the exposure that San Antonio is getting just with Victor alone doing stuff like this overseas. But it's gazillions of dollars worth without an expert study. That's money that this city with a $158 million deficit couldn't buy.
Well, and keep in mind, when it comes to the Spurs Arena, the city's going to own that arena.
Yeah.
That's going to be the city's property.
Yeah.
The Spurs are going to pay rent to the city to use that facility.
But she wants a cut.
But she wants more revenue share. She wants more of the ticket sales, concessions, whatever. Spurs are going to pay rent to play there, to be a tenant in a city-owned facility. And I can't wait for Mark White to come on to explain the other benefits and perks, not to mention the jobs that are going to be created, even before the thing is built with the construction jobs. I mean, it's just a win-win for this city. It is, and I nobody can convince me otherwise, and I just don't understand Mayor Jones and what she is trying to do here. It's just so baffling to me.
Now, our poll question on YouTube, do we need another vote for the Spurs Arena? 96% of you say no, 4% yes. Only 53 votes. We just put it up a few minutes ago, as you know. If you voted yes in the poll, if you do think we need another vote, and again, not to argue, I just want to understand where you're coming from. And because again, I don't see it. Maybe you're aware of something that I am not, or just your view of what is going on is worthy of a listen. I agree, because I want to hear all sides. I always like to make an informed decision. If there's something that I'm missing and you are seeing it in a different way, that's what we do. That's the fun part of something like this, because I don't understand her game plan and her reasoning. It makes zero sense to me. But if it makes sense to you, please shed some light. I'm curious. We won't blow you up. We won't, or we're not going to be mean. But I am curious. Well, I know sometimes if you've got, especially when it's so overwhelming, you feel like you're in the minority. You don't want to get into a fight, or maybe you're just being the troll because you don't want to see a shutout on the board. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Look, if you want to comment on it, we're open to hearing your opinion on why you think this is. I just implore you to read the facts about what has happened here and where this money is coming from and how it is to be spent before you make a decision, because there is at least one person who voted yes, that we need another vote, and that's fine. It's 96-4 at this point in time with 55 votes. So somebody thinks we need another vote. And I think there are a lot of people out there that are buying what Gina is selling. And so, but all I do is encourage you just to get educated on this. Before you start talking about it or cheerleading about it, get educated on it and find out. And again, Mark White, city councilman, will join us, District 10, I believe, right?
Yep.
Will join us here at about 4:35, and he can shed some more light on this and where things stand right now and where we're going from here. But I mean, are you as baffled as I am? I mean, in all sincerity, I don't understand the end game here. I just don't.
When I saw that, I was, why? And why now? Oh, there's an August 17th deadline. What are you trying to accomplish? We've already voted yes. This has already been approved. We don't need a second vote. And again, those dollars can't be used for all the other stuff. And we went through this when she was campaigning against it, or I say against it. She never said she was against it, but you could tell by what she was doing, where she was at. And then, when she took the microphone from Spurs Jesus at that deal downtown and it left, like you say, she wants a deal. Her actions say otherwise. It makes no sense to me. I am baffled by it. And again, if we're going to be able to redo votes, can we redo the mayoral vote for the city of San Antonio?
Well, that would be nice. I'm not sure how we get that done. Maybe we'll ask Mark White what the procedure is to do that, if there is one. I wish I had an answer. I wish I could say she's doing this because of this, but I can't think of anything. Other than she just wants the attention. I mean, that's really all I can think of.
Negative attention? I mean, what is she doing? Jones's playbook, as long as you're talking about is bad or indifferent? Just
maybe so. Maybe so. I don't understand it. But we're going to talk a lot more about this. Obviously, again, we've mentioned Mark White at 4:35. Terrence Steele, Cowboys offensive lineman, scheduled to join us sometime in the 3:30 to 4 o'clock window there, depending on when they get out of practice. But that's what we're told. San Antonio guy, Steele High School, and so we'll talk to Terrence about what's going on there and if he has boycotted Gotti yet or not, the way that I have, although I just mentioned it. Mm-hmm. What in the hell is going on?
What are you doing?
I don't know. Losing my mind. It's such a beautiful day here in California, Oxnard, California. Cowboys training camp, first day in pads. They are still out there on the practice field. Apparently, Princeton Fant has gone down and carted off to the locker room. Now, if you're not familiar with that name, he is one of their tight ends. But Nick Harris is saying carted to the locker room doesn't look good. So you never want to see that happen to anybody, whether it's a starter or backup or whatever the case may be. So we'll see if we get an update on what's going on with Princeton, and hopefully that's all of those kind of things that happen during this training camp for sure. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, some people are just bigger sports fans than others, that you just have to make your opinion known, even when you're in the middle of doing something else. We'll tell you what happened when we continue here live from Oxnard Cowboys training camp. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio.
How about them Cowboys?
Live from Oxnard, California. KTFM. Floresville, South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month with Window Nation at 50% off all window styles. Yes, 50% off new, beautiful, energy-efficient windows, plus zero down, zero interest, and no payments for 2 years. Call now, 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
Time to go back to school with Famous Footwear.
Why does it always sneak up on us?
It's like when your kid tells you about a bake sale the night before.
Then it's store-bought all the way.
Stores are the best.
Like Famous, with 800 stores, they're always nearby with shoes from the best brands like Jordan, Nike, Adidas, Birkenstock, New Balance, Skechers, and more.
Right now it's BOGO. Buy one pair, get one half off at Famous Footwear. And shop in store to get $10 to spend this fall. Some exclusions apply.
If alcohol or drug use is hurting you or someone you love, you are not alone. I'm Peter McCarthy of the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, known as CICADA. There is help. There is hope. Call CICADA at 210-225-4741 or visit cicada.org.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Jadeveon Clowney is going back to where it all began. He's signing a one-year deal with the Houston Texans. That's the team that drafted him number 1 overall in 2014. Clowney, however, did spend last season here with the Dallas Cowboys. Texans also re-signed defensive tackle Mario Edwards. UTSA quarterback Owen McCown has been named to the Maxwell Award watch list. McCown made the list for the second straight year, one of 81 FBS players up for the award.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagle. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Monday, but not just any Monday, a Cowboys training camp Monday. Hope y'all are all having a great Monday, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. We appreciate you spending a little time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. That young fellow over there is Jason Minix. Beautiful day here in Oxnard, California on the tennis courts. Nice little breeze blowing, blue skies, and Cowboys practicing.
The Cowboys are practicing, and, man, it looks like the defense is having a hell of a day the first day in pads, especially that Caleb Downs guy. I've seen a couple of reporters tweeting about some wild plays. Kobe Durant with a nice interception.
Javon Ravel, too.
Dak Prescott, Ravel has had some plays. It's fun. It's interesting. Before the pads went on last week, all the talk was how far ahead the offense was than the defense. Pads go on, things change a little bit.
They absolutely do, but that's typical. I mean, they always tell us, right, the defense is usually ahead of the offense to start things, although that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense here since you've got a brand new defensive coordinator here in Dallas in Christian Parker. So, but they've got some players that, look, we've mentioned it, and I don't think you can mention it too many times. You got to credit the management team, Jerry and company, for going out and getting some players to improve this defensive unit, one that was just, I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but god-awful last year.
God-awful. And again, they don't have to be great. They just have to be better, be mediocre, and there could be some differences. And again, I think with the Cowboys offense, Shadi was talking about it earlier today, if they're better in the red zone versus kicking field goals, getting touchdowns, that's the difference between wins and losses. And so it'll be interesting. We'll have more on the Cowboys, obviously, as we continue here from Oxnard. Terrence Steele will join us in about 35 minutes, give or take, but it's time for the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I say often, Joe, our job is everybody else's hobby.
True.
And we understand the passion that sports fans have for their teams. And again, I make no bones about I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. I am a San Antonio Spurs fan. I am. And when you're frustrated, you're frustrated. And when we hear there are times where things are bad, I just like, we're listening. We're Fraser Crane. We're just opening up the phone lines and you just let it off your chest. Therapy session is open.
Fraser Crane?
Yeah. You remember that guy, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, you get all the old people TV
I guess.
references.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fraser Crane. I hadn't thought about him in a minute. Fraser. Yeah.
I'm
What, he on
listening.
Cheers or something?
He was on Cheers.
And then he got his own show and a spinoff.
Yeah, called Frasier, right? That's what he would always tell his
All right.
callers. I'm listening.
Uh-huh.
A Pirates fan, he called into a Pittsburgh radio station, and I don't know how long the guy was on hold, but this is funny as hell.
Steve, what a familiar place. What a familiar place. What a comfortable chair in which we sit.
Exactly. You know,
What can I get started for you?
over the last decade, hold on one second, Dan. Give me
What was that? Are you in the drive-thru?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to get my son a thing. But Dan, where we are.
Where are you at? Hold on a sec. Give me a second. Where are you at? Are you stress eating right now?
No, I'm trying to get it for my son. I'm just trying to get it for him.
Where are you?
Wendy's at Latrobe.
Wendy's. What are you getting?
Two big bacon classics.
Can you order
For a
me
son.
For your son.
a
Yeah.
therapy frosty?
I don't know if they have that, dude, but I'm telling
Well,
you.
no, it's just eat it on my behalf. You need something. You need something to soothe the pain. Find comfort in food. Stress eat, if you would, for me, please.
Mm-hmm. Stressy
For
me.
In the Wendy's drive, that's just bad timing. You're calling to a radio station and you're in the Wendy's drive-through and you're thinking, well, I'll get on. It's going to take a while. I got time for this. And then, bam, welcome to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm trying to remember all the years that I've been doing this. I don't know that we've ever had anybody order food while actually on the phone with us. The most was somebody getting a ticket while on the air with us.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Did you go see the Spider-Man movie this weekend?
No, I did not.
Pledge, did you go see the new Spider-Man movie?
Twice.
You saw
Twice?
it twice. Were you able to get through the entire movie?
Yeah, I had no issues.
All right. Spider-Man, huge opening. Can you imagine? You're excited. You're going to the movie. It's opening weekend. It's the new Spider-Man movie. You're in there, and the theater has to get evacuated because somebody in there's fart smells so bad that you couldn't stay in there. Rotten flatulence is what is in this headline.
Dude, get up and go to the bathroom. I mean, seriously. I mean, everybody's got to pass a little gas. I get it. But if the first one comes out and it smells like, poo, then why don't you get up and go poo? Or get up and go to the bathroom. Go outside. The people in the lobby have to deal with that.
Now,
that's unbelievable.
Apparently, halfway through the movie, the flatulent film goer let one rip. This is what it says in the article. And it apparently was so bad, they evacuated the theater.
God, that's
while the
horrible.
screening was not officially canceled, droves of people decided to leave before the end credits because of the stench.
Well, look,
they don't know who the guy was.
I'm going to call BS. That was not just a fart. That was a shart or a full-on poo. One of the two, because it's not going to smell that bad for just a pass of a gas. I mean, seriously, am I right? It's not going to linger that long. This dude crapped his pants.
But they couldn't identify him.
Well,
nobody claimed.
Must have had black pants on.
Nobody claimed it was them. I mean, nobody said it was me. I got the fart attack going on. I can't stand it.
Well, would you fess up to it? No, is the answer.
But if I think because I'm with you, somebody had to poop their pants.
Yeah, that's clear on poo.
You should be able to identify them.
That's clear on that. Nobody.
Well, and whoever was around the person. I mean, I'd be looking at you going, Joe, you let one rip? What the hell are you doing, man? Right? Like what me? It had to be you because I'm sitting right next to your. My eyes are watering. What is going on here? You're in a movie theater, so you can't blame the dog.
No, unless you brought your dog with you. Holy cow. Wow. I don't know. That somebody crapped their pants. It absolutely has to be what happened.
Moviegoer said to ruin a whole film like that, only God knows what that person ate. Another one said, that dude, the windbreaker, the real villain in Spider-Man. Yeah. Who knows? leave it to Aaron Rodgers to go on Pat McAfee today and talk on ESPN about something that apparently at ESPN nationally they're not talking about. Now, keep in mind, you haven't seen Get Up, First Take, any Adam Schefter. Nobody has actually done any of the stuff that you would think would be happening on shows about the whole Diana Rossini situation. McAfee had Aaron Rodgers on today, and Aaron Rodgers asked that same damn question.
What is the network doing? Like, you have literally an individual that maybe used to work at ESPN that covers our league at the highest level, and there's a major scandal, and it's just like nobody can talk about it? What are we even doing
personal
here?
lives are personal lives. I feel like you of all people should know that. But
I understand, but if it's affecting certain things, if there's leaks going on, if there's tampering going on, if that person is also an MVP voter and a Coach of the Year voter. Remember when I won MVP in 2021?
Yeah,
and that bomb in Chicago?
Yeah.
That's real life. Like, how are we allowing these people to have an impact?
Pornhub Arkush is what we call him.
Arkush,
But,
yeah, I remember that name.
I think he's a bum.
Yeah. You know, what he's saying is not necessarily untrue.
Yeah.
And so you got to look at that. He also went on to blast Dr. Fauci in that same interview about pleading the fifth. But I don't think there's any question that Aaron Rodgers leans conservative. So any opportunity to trash Fauci, he's going to take advantage of it.
Well, and I think he's probably looking for apologies for a lot of members of the media for his stance on COVID back in the day.
That's very true.
None of them are coming, by the way.
No. Who was saying? I don't remember the story about the dude in Chicago. Is somebody was he unanimous except for that guy? Is that what happened?
Maybe.
I don't remember what happened. But
That's where this drop comes from.
I think he's a bum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was one dude.
Yep.
You know, I wish that would have been me. I would have liked to be that one dude that said, no, Aaron, you are a bum. And I'm voting for, I don't know, Cooper Rush.
I think he's a bum.
Cooper Rush.
I couldn't think of anybody else at the moment.
And Cooper Rush is what you came up with? What the hell is wrong with you?
Kenny Pickett.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Good Lord, you would lose your right to vote.
Sure would. Oh my goodness, too much fun here, man. It's the weather, Minix. It has to be. It has to be that. Without a doubt, it has to be that. Here at Oxnard, we're on the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California, the Stay Bridge Suites, I think, but it is the home of the Dallas Cowboys for the next 3 weeks or so. They are out on the field practicing. When they are done, however, San Antonio's own Terrence Steele set to join us right around 3:35, 3:40, something like that. We'll talk to him about what's going on with the Cowboys and how day one in pads went. In the meantime, well, Cowboys might be sold. Or at least part of them.
Stop.
And you'll never guess who the potential buyer just might be.
Stop.
I'm serious. We'll tell you when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, the Rue Pub is my go-to spot there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And, you know, the food at the Rue Pub is fantastic. And they're growing, as you know. Rockport is open. It's rocking and rolling. And their third location is going to be opening just in time for football season. A couple of weeks away is the new Rue Pub in New Braunfels. Yep, New Braunfels, you guys are getting a Rue Pub. It's going to be over there in Creekside right near the Buc-ee's. It will be open in September, but in time for football season. So great news for our friends that live up I-35 there in New Braunfels. Now, for the OG location there at 281 and Redland Road, right now that's a great place for you to go have your fantasy draft parties. They've got some great specials. Just message them on social media. They'll get you taken care of with buckets of beers and wings because, you know, those wings are the biggest and best in town. I love the fried shrimp. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu, the chicken sandwich, the hot dogs, the appetizers, even the salads are wonderful is what I'm told. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. The Rue Pub, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more at every Tuesday home game. First pitch at 7:05. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, upgrade to a Tempur-Pedic and learn how you can get 3% back plus an instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Life is meant to be lived in motion, in the moment, on the go. If a sports injury or chronic pain threatens to slow you down, hold you back, or take you out of the game, Christus Health is here, right where you live, with complete personalized orthopedic care. Because you have a lot of games to play, miles to go, and life to live. Christus Health, your life, our purpose. Find care near you at christushealth.org.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back here live at Cowboys training camp, Oxnard, California. This is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and sounds a little quiet behind us, Jason, where the practice fields are here at Cowboys training camp. And so Terrence Steele could walk in here at any moment, and then that's kind of what we do. We're flexible. It may be sooner, rather be later, but Terrence Steele is set to join us here coming up pretty quick. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have been talking quite a bit, and Stephen Jones the other day on 105.3 The Fan said they would not rule out selling a portion, a very small portion of the Dallas Cowboys if it ever came to that. Now, nothing is imminent, absolutely, but Mark Cuban took that and said, I'd be more than happy to buy a piece of the Dallas Cowboys, which would be interesting.
It would be, and it really surprises me because it's not like by all accounts, not that we know, but I don't think there's a cash flow problem with the.
I don't think so either.
With the Joneses, but I guess you can always stack on top of stack. And if you're Mark Cuban, it's just, all right, what am I going to invest in today that's going to make money? You go with the Shark Tank approach, not like he's going to get 20%.
No.
Not like he's going to get a seat at the table. Not like he's going to be in the decision-making process. But a guy like Mark Cuban, or any of these guys that can afford to do it, just to have a little skin in the game and somebody that you could bounce ideas off of, I could see. But it's just a way to multiply your money if you're Mark Cuban. How do you make more? I'm just surprised that the Dallas Cowboys, since they've always been, since the Jones family took it, 100% owned by the Joneses, that they would even consider opening it up. Now, that said, when there was the talk of some of those Saudi investment firms, how many gazillions do you want? Maybe Steven wants a boat bigger than his dad's, and the way to get that is through some of that kind of money. But it would be a little odd to see minority owners with the Dallas Cowboys.
I wonder if that boat's going to Jerry Jr. Instead of Steven. I don't know. It came up because last year, if you'll remember, was Buffalo, Miami, and the Chargers sold a portion of their teams to private equity groups. And now, again, I only bring this up, number one, because it's Mark Cuban, and number two, in that interview on 105.3 The Fan last week, Stephen Jones clearly said he was not opposed to doing that if the right offer, right people came along.
And again, I it's way above all of our pay grades to understand why. And again, if you've got the money like Cuban does, and you could buy whatever percentage, you would do it. You're buying an invite to the party, and you're investing in that just like you would any other stock. You're throwing money in, and you're watching it grow. And with the Dallas Cowboys, it will grow. And when you look at what the Seahawks just sold for, what would the Cowboys be worth?
Oh my gosh!
If they ever actually went up for sale?
It would be record breaking, obviously, and then and who knows, may never be hit again. It would be unbelievable. I mean, look, whether you like Jerry Jones or not, and there are plenty of reasons not, but the man makes money.
Yeah.
And he has turned this Cowboys franchise, obviously, into the most valuable franchise in professional sports. There is nobody that's worth more. And so you got to give him credit for that. The man does make money. Now, I know fans would like for him to win playoff games and Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I just find this interesting. It's the only reason I brought it up. There's nothing imminent. But the fact that Steven mentioned that, and then when Jerry was asked about it over the weekend, he simply said, look, I have a lot of respect for Mark Cuban and, and what he's done. He never said, yeah, I would sell to him or I would consider that. But obviously there's a mutual respect there between Jerry and Mark Cuban, who, by the way, still owns about 24% of the Mavericks, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
And again, if you're Jerry, he loves his family, he loves the Cowboys, and he loves money. I think maybe not in any particular order. And if there's a way to make money, Jerry's going to figure out a way to do it. Now, Brian Schottenheimer's trying to figure out how to get this team to get to Jerry's ultimate goal, and that is win a Super Bowl. And as the pads go on today for the first time, and they're out there in pads right now, wrapping up their Monday practice, the practice times are different than back in the old days. And Brian Schottenheimer was talking earlier about how you just have to organize and structure a practice in today's NFL world.
I actually kind of like it. I really do. I mean, I think you have to be more organized. I think you have to do a really good job of explaining to the guys what you want. I mean, if you would let my dad practice 4 times a day, he would have. Probably did. Self-report. Love you, Pops. But Dick Vermeil was that way. Coach Vermeil texted me the other day, and I was remembering, 3-a-days in St. Louis, whether it was legal or not. I was just a QC running to get water for people and running cards and things like that. But I remember 3. So I think at the end of the day, now we can get the work done, but you got to be organized. These guys have to understand what's expected. And I like the rules. I think, I love how the league's made the joint practices more of a, something that's a suggestion because they want us to do it. And when you don't play your starters in preseason, which again, cat's out of the bag, we're not going to play a lot of our starters during the preseason. You need that work.
You know what's interesting about that, and I didn't know the number. Joe Trahan from WFA TV in Dallas brought this up, that the Cowboys have about 10 padded practices during training camp, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get ready for a season that is a physical season, that is in a violent sport. Yeah, I mean, you can defend it, I guess, and Shotty did, and he says he likes the rules. I just don't know that it's enough. And I think that's why you sometimes see injuries early in the season. These guys' bodies are just not ready for it.
Well, and not only that, you heard them, cats out of the bag. They're not going to play starters in the preseason. Although I thought it was interesting when Brian Schottenheimer today kind of went through the process of deciding the workload for players during the preseason.
So we put players into 4 groups, A group, B plus, B minus, and C. And in that group, that tells us whether they're playing 0 snaps in the preseason, whether they're playing 10 to 15 snaps in the preseason, 25 to 35 for the B minus, and kind of unlimited for the C's. I have a list in my mind. The coaches get with the coordinators and they debate those things. Caleb Downs, for example, do you play him? Do you not play him? We're having those discussions, and good news is we don't have to make those decisions for a while, but there's something to the young guys playing a little bit. And, we do it in the first 2 games. I think that's part of it. Usually don't play many of those guys in the 3rd preseason game, but it's something that, we're very serious about.
Well, and again, the Caleb Downs is an interesting thing, and you got to figure if he is going to start. I don't think there's any question about it. The guy's that talented, and he was drafted to come in here and contribute right away. But you have to believe playing a little bit in each of the first 2 preseason games will benefit that young man, just to get used to the feel. Although it's not the same, because week 1 it will ratchet up considerably, but still. Just get a little bit of a feel of the NFL game.
I'm just kind of curious. Your 4 groups of players, your A players, B plus, B minus, and C. It's not A, B, C, and D. And nobody wants to be a D player, so you're a C player, or a C player mean likely to be cut. You're on the cut list, so you're out there. You're either going to make it or you're not. But that's why you're a C player. It's just random how he did his buckets: A, B plus, B minus, and C. No D players out here?
No D players out here, Jason.
Or
Come on.
C for cut.
That's
right?
a good. I wouldn't think that's good if there's 4 groups and you're in the last one.
Well, but you're in the last group. You're in the cut group. That starts with C. You're either going to make the team or you're not. But you're in the group that you better be worried about. Don't spend all that per diem money, because
you might need it.
Yeah. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, well, the beauty of NFL training camps, some of these guys that get cut will land on another team. So it's kind of like one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm just sitting here watching video that Clarence Hill took of Jake Ferguson. And, just made one hell of a catch to save Dak Prescott's ass.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, unbelievable for a touchdown. Unbelievable to see that. And it was a rocket by Prescott. There's no doubt. But what a catch, man! Looking good.
Oh, my
as usual. That guy I discovered, obviously.
Dude,
so
here we go. The man crush.
Sure. Yeah. Craziness. Speaking of players of the Dallas Cowboys, we are expecting Terrence Steele, Cowboys offensive lineman, right tackle to be exact, San Antonio's own, to join us here about 3:35, 3:40 or so, something like that. We'll get his thoughts on what the offense looks like and how it, what's interesting. One thing that Shotty said today, Jason, was the fact that the offensive line and the defensive line are the 2 groups that benefit the most from these padded practices.
Absolutely.
So we'll ask Terrence about that and how he benefited today in padded practice number 1 when we continue live here in Oxnard, Cowboys training camp. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
They say 40 is the new 20 because guys in their 40s, 50s, 60s, they have the testosterone levels of their 20s. If you want the energy, drive, and libido of your younger self, you need to get into Synergenics testosterone and weight loss. Low testosterone can contribute to low energy, reduced sex drive, brain fog, lack of motivation, mood changes, just all of it. You know, when you get into Synergenics, the testosterone test is absolutely free. You're going to get a comprehensive evaluation with a licensed provider to determine whether TRT is appropriate for you. And if needed, Synergenics uses non-compounded pharmaceutical-grade testosterone. Most major insurance plans are accepted. So don't settle for feeling less than your best. Again, schedule that free testosterone test at synergenicshealth.com. synergenicshealth.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you or someone you love is struggling with alcohol or drug use, you do not have to carry it alone. I'm Peter McCarthy of the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, known as Cicada. We help people take the next step with compassion, privacy, and no judgment. You do not need all the answers, just a safe place to start. And 90% of our services are provided at no cost. Call Cicada at 210-225-4741. That's 210-225-4741. Or visit cicada.org.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back, and we're celebrating our 50th year of the Hunters Extravaganza. Join us in San Antonio August 7th through 9th. Come see Gator Country, Heart of Texas Snake Handlers, enter the deer competition, and compete in the annual indoor 3D archery tournament. Discover the latest hunting gear and apparel, book hunts, and find everything you need for the hunt. The Hunters Extravaganza, brought to you by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association. Get tickets at ttha.com.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
How about them Cowboys?
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you in part by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Live on the tennis courts here in Oxnard, California. It is Cowboys training camp. We're covering it for you here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Having a good time. Cowboys still out there on the practice field. First day in pads today. I'm Joe. He's Jason. And we are expecting Terrence Steele. As soon as they get done with practice, he will be joining us. So we just got to be flexible sometimes when we're out here.
Well, that's it. I mean, they're on a schedule, not ours. And we kind of go with that. And I was looking, if you might have just saw a quick glimpse of the chair where he's going to sit and the tents here at the training camp. And, yeah, Terrence is going to sit there. And I saw somebody point out, Pledge, you forgot a T in training camp. It ain't raining in Southern California.
Not at all.
I can tell you that. Although
not sure that it ever rains here.
A lot of people would like to see a little drizzle.
Although this morning, it's funny because you wake up in the mornings here in Oxnard, and it looks like it could rain at any time.
Yep.
Because you get all the cloud cover. What do they call it? The sea mist or
marine layer.
Marine layer.
Yes.
I like sea mist. Sea cover.
Sea
sounds
cover.
Mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes, Ryan Eagle.
Well, you got to do what you got to do.
Sea mist.
Mm-hmm. Kind of piratey looking.
Piratey.
When they sail in, you get that fog rolling in.
It's called the
just
marine
creepy
layer.
looking.
You get all those seamen on the ship, and you're looking.
You get all what on the
mist.
ship? You get what on the ship?
The seamen.
The seamen.
That's the rank in the Navy.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm wondering
Get your mind out of
the
the
hell's going on over here.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean,
goodness gracious.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
at one
ladies
point,
and gentlemen.
that was my rank.
Jason Minnick's being nasty here on the Blitz.
No, it's Navy rank. What are you talking about?
Dude,
you're on the sea and you're a man. What are you?
I don't know if we could talk to the defense guy, Hegseth, and say, can we change that for seaman?
What do you mean?
Well, it's got to be a better word than that, or change the other one. I don't know.
Well,
did you feel weird when you were a seaman and you?
Yeah, the jokes write themselves.
Seaman Minix?
Yes. The jokes do. Well, because you start out when you're at boot camp, you're a seaman recruit. You're SR.
I know a few seaman recruits.
And it's so bad because you wear basically what we called when I went to boot camp, it was this Smurf outfit because you wore blue sweatpants, a white T-shirt with the N on it for Navy. And, they shave your head so you get your wash cap, that big cap. And you just, you're an SR.
I'm a big fan of the white uniforms with the hat. What do you call that
Cracker
hat?
Jacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, Cracker Jack guy.
Yeah. Well, it's the Cracker Jack uniform. That's what
they call it.
Yeah, they kind of, I guess, done away with that. No more dungarees. They wear camo just like everybody else. Part of it.
Really? Well, they shouldn't do that.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's what makes the Navy stand out.
I mean,
the Air Force has got their thing. Army's got their thing. Marines have theirs.
Yeah.
Coast Guard has theirs.
The Coasties?
Yeah. Coasties, yeah. Called my daughter-in-law a Coastie.
Did you?
Well, I didn't, but that's what they call her.
But yeah, because that's what she is. She's in the Coast Guard. She's a Coastie.
Although she outranks me. I mean,
she does.
Outranks a lot of people, for goodness sake.
She does. She's a badass in
she
the Coast
really
Guard.
is, yes. And Justin just reminded me there is Space Force, too. What do Space Force's uniforms look like?
That's a great question. And what are their nicknames?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know anybody that's
Jedi
done anything with the Space Force.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and see what their uniform looks like. I have no clue.
Well, do that at another time.
Well, all right, I'll do it another time.
Do that at another time.
Space Force. I keep forgetting about them.
Exactly. Well, you should. That's a big part of what our military is doing now.
Well, I agree. And I mean them no disrespect. I don't know what they look like. It's still fairly new, right? Did Trump do that in his first term? I think.
I as much as I like to say that I'm up on what's going on with the military, I have no idea.
I think it was during his first term. He did that, and so now we have the Space Force.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Does anybody know anybody that's in the Space Force?
That's a good question. I don't. Do you?
I don't.
And I don't know where they. I mean, if you lived in Houston, you might. Would they be in Houston?
Well, I mean, they could almost be anywhere.
I guess they could.
I mean, you know, if there's Space Force Medical, they're all training at Fort Sam. That's where all the medical in the military is training, I believe.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, a lot of Navy in San Antonio because of the medical part of things.
Well, if anybody knows anybody from the Space Force, let me know. I do see photographers coming back. That means the practice has wrapped up or is about to. So that's a good sign. We are awaiting Terrence Steele, Cowboys right tackle, to join us here coming up on the Blitz at any moment, for that matter. He could walk through this tent.
Yeah. So we will see. The poll question on YouTube as we wait for Terrence Steele. Do we need another vote for the Spurs Arena? We've got 78 votes. So go vote in our YouTube poll. You can get there through a quick shortcut link at sasportstar.com. Or if you're already on YouTube, just search out San Antonio Sports Star. 96-4, no, we do not need another vote for a new Spurs Arena. So we are efforting Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones.
We have reached out.
And then, of course, we do have Mark White, the San Antonio City Councilman from District 10, will join us in about an hour from right now. So go vote in the poll. And then if you know any Space Force types, let us know.
Well, John Sobery says his daughter works for or is in the Space Force or works for Space Force, whatever he said there on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. So, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's cool, without a doubt.
Yep.
So I see some players walking by here and good photographers.
Yep.
Who are doing their job, actually working.
Well, and one of the things that you're always, you know, the tap dance that we're doing right now, just to give you an idea, practice ends, and depending on your position group, sometimes they stay after and do some other work. Generally, if they have media obligations, the PR staff does a good job of getting them off the field in a hurry, but also if they're signing autographs for fans. And you know what? A lot of fans here today on the first day of padded practices, which is another thing that has been a storyline the last couple of years, is the attendance. Now, practice time always affects it. Weekends, it was crazy out here on Saturday from the videos that I saw. We weren't here
absolutely.
Yet, but the opening ceremonies and Jerry Jones with maybe the line of the weekend about putting it in and
taking it out.
Uh-huh.
I'm just glad he remembers.
Yeah.
Took you a minute there.
Well, I mean, you know, some things don't have to be said. Although, if you don't know what we're talking about, this was Jerry Jones Saturday during the opening ceremonies.
With the New York Giants habit, when we open up, is to put it in right out here at training camp. It can't come out if it doesn't go in. That's the point. That is the point. Obviously, you inspire us. I'm talking about Oxnard. You inspire us with the story of Oxnard, the makeup of the citizens of Oxnard. You inspire us. And this is a time when, as a team, when it's great to look for inspirational, because there's a lot on the line for a lot of people, what each one of these guys do out here over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm so glad they're doing it in the positive support of the people of Oxnard. I wouldn't trade anything for it. So I just want to welcome you here today, and I want to include you all the way, every step of the way, as we build this team, and let's get this team to the Super Bowl. Great to be with you guys. Great to be with you.
You know what's really interesting here in Oxnard, when you drive in, there are Cowboy banners and billboards and everything else all over the place when you drive in here. This is something that this small city of Oxnard, and I guess even Ventura, they rely on this each and every year, and they make a lot of money. That's why they do what they do for the Cowboys and maintaining these fields and all of that. And let me tell you something, this place is a popular place. If the Cowboys ever decided to leave here, The Rams would gladly move in. I'm sure the Chargers would happily move in. And you could probably name about 10 other teams that would do the same. This is one of the better spring training camp sites that there is throughout the country.
Well, and again, you think about, I remember when they were in San Antonio for a couple of years and decided to go to Oxnard. I was pissed, right?
Yeah.
Because it was so great for San Antonio. And then when I got out here for the very first time to Oxnard, I get it.
No, absolutely.
I get it. And it's not just because it's California and it's cool that we get to go. It's when you see the facility that they have, the practice fields, this complex that they're in, they're able to put the weight room and all the stuff with tents on all these tennis courts. But just the practice that they're able to get, and the weather is perfect. Unlike, I don't know, in the Alamo Dome where you only have one field. And then remember when they tried to grow grass in the parking lot, Emmitt Smith took one step on that and was like, nope, we're not doing that. Then they were busing to go to the different things. Even the players getting bussed over to the Alamo Dome. Just logistically, they walk off the practice field, and this is almost like an apartment complex. You know, everybody's got their rooms and, you know, roommates and whatnot, but they don't go anywhere, right? They're all right here. If you aren't doing it at your home facility, I don't know of a better training camp setup than what you have here. Very similar to those that are at small colleges, those that few teams that actually leave to go do stuff. I know Pledge, what is it, the Briar, whatever, that the Texans have gone to a couple times. I believe that's where the New York Giants are this training camp. And even those facilities, it's not quite the same as what you have here in Oxnard for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not like all these players are busing over to go to practice and then busing back, and just everything is just so convenient. Again, I champion a lot of things for San Antonio. San Antonio cannot top what they have here in Oxnard, California. And then, of course, being in California in the footprint now with two teams in Los Angeles, the Chargers and the Rams, the Cowboys are never going to give that up. And with everything they've built in Frisco, kind of like the Texans, you know, they don't have to, the Texans don't travel. The Cowboys don't either, except for they will even tell you they get more work done out here because the togetherness that they're able to utilize from the time you wake up till it's time to go to bed. You know, the Texans, the ones that aren't in hotels, like their veteran players, can go home every night. They don't get that same kind of camaraderie. The rookies and some of the younger players have to stay in the hotel right down the street from the facility, that Holiday Inn. But for the most part here, you know, everybody's here. I get it. It makes sense for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, in so many ways. I mean, with the setup, as you mentioned, then you've got the weather. The weather is absolutely perfect. So you're not in the you're not hell on earth like you were in Wichita Falls and Austin, and you've got real grass to practice on here as you didn't have in San Antonio. I'll never forget that, Jason. You mentioned it. Bill Parcells hated practicing in the Alamo Dome. He hated it because of that reason. He wanted the guys, and of course Bill Parcells, old school, he wanted those guys out in the heat. Yep. He wanted them, you know, practicing and sweating, and obviously those were back in the days where you could actually play football at training camp, unlike today. I digress, and so that's why they tried to grow the grass on the parking lot outside, and it was just a complete disaster. But the Cowboys have been here for what? 15, 16 years now, something to that effect. Yeah. Something in that neighborhood. And I tell you what, it is. I don't think they're ever going to leave unless they're forced to somehow, some way. I just think Jerry likes it. The Jones family likes it, and the players like it. So they're not going anywhere.
I know from when we first came out here, and John Machota from The Athletic had a picture that he posted on Twitter the other day, 10 years ago, and what the site looked like versus today. And a bunch of trees are gone. There are houses all over the place. I wonder how long the land is going to stay land where the football fields are, and then the parking lot just to the right of them, because there are a ton of houses that have been built around this facility that weren't here a decade ago. And you wonder, this prime real estate, how much longer they can keep these as football fields that the Cowboys use for a couple, 3 weeks every year. But the real estate is expensive.
It is, but I think it is owned by the city of Oxnard. If I'm not mistaken, the practice facility, not necessarily the hotel, but the fields, because I believe that they maintain those things. They've been coming here since 2001, according to this.
Well, I was looking at that, but I mean, I know, and who knows why they didn't come out here then. What was it 2009, 10, 11, something like that? Because I know the radio station had just launched in we launched in February of 2008. In 2009, training camp was in the Alamo Dome, and maybe 2010, and maybe 11 or 12 is when they came back out to Oxnard. We'd have to Google that. Because I remember Dow Wynn talking about he trained in the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
Because he talked about, of all things, I'll never forget, eating crickets in one of the meeting rooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good protein, I'm sure.
Well, sure.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I know the city of San Antonio loved having the Cowboys in the Alamo Dome, and I know that because the place was pretty much full for every walkthrough, every practice, everything, and so it was good.
Yeah.
It's in the back.
Around. Yeah. Oh, Terrence Steele is about to join us.
He is a big dude.
Well, he is a big dude. That is for sure.
Holy
but
cow.
I didn't want him to jump the fence here at the tennis court.
No. We can't risk injury to anybody.
That would have been bad.
That's for sure. But Terrence Steele coming around here. He's going to join us. Is he coming?
Yeah, he's coming.
All right, here we go.
Walking in right now. Here we go.
Hey, Terrence.
What's up, Terrence? How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Hey, good to see you.
Grab those headsets, man. Let's talk to San Antonio.
Yeah, we're on the air, so we're in segment. We're waiting for you. San Antonio, man, still very proud of you, my friend. How things going?
Oh, they're going awesome. It's my 7th year, 6th year out here in Oxnard, and super excited.
Can you believe it's been 7 years already?
It's crazy, huh? Feels like I just got in the lead like 2 years ago. It really does fly by.
Dude, and I remember when you signed your big deal, and I don't think it's changed. You got the biggest deal from any San Antonio high school guy. That hasn't topped.
Okay.
A couple NBA guys maybe get you, but Kingston Fleming's, is a first-round pick. But that's like really high honors for you.
That's awesome. Until you said that, I really didn't cross my mind. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I hope people out there in San Antonio, those kids coming in high school and stuff, they look at me and kind of get some inspiration. If I can do it, I promise you, if you put the work in, they can do it as well. So.
Yeah, Terrence, I've got to ask you because San Antonio and the surrounding area, huge Cowboys, a lot of Cowboy fans. Did you grow up a Cowboy fan?
I did, yeah. You kind of have to growing up in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this got to be, like a dream come true for you when this happened. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I got to stay in Texas, in college at Texas Tech, and then obviously come to the Cowboys. So, man, Texas boy through and through.
Now,
Nice.
you say that. You think about 7-year starter, everything that goes with it. You're out here at training camp, pads go on. What's it like for you today to put that helmet on with the star versus 2 years ago, even 5 years ago?
Yeah, no, man, it means a lot to me. It's the biggest franchise in sport. To have that star logo on the side of your helmet, it's a huge honor. It's an honor. I never want to take it for granted. It's a huge blessing for me.
You guys get out there today, and I know it is training camp, and I know you guys work your butts off out here. But at first day in pads, does that kind of get you a little more excited that hey, we're actually playing some real football?
Absolutely, yeah. No, like this past week, obviously we had to go in just helmets. You can only do so much. It's not real football, but today we got to throw pads on, actually pop and hit, and get some actual good fits. So yeah, man, it's awesome.
All right, who are you going up against most?
Right now with Sean Gary.
How's that?
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, I played with Sean multiple times throughout my career, and he's just an awesome player. So to have him on our team is a huge blessing. To be able to go against him every single day is a huge blessing as well.
Terrence, Shoddy was saying before you guys hit the practice field today that it's the offensive line and the defensive line that probably get the most work when they put the pads on. Because, these quarterbacks are prima donnas and stuff. They can't get hit. I said that. You didn't. I know. I get it.
Yeah.
But do you feel that too, that it's the offensive defensive line?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's that. We need padded days to be able to get our fits, actually fit our deuce blocks, actually fill our hands in the pass pro. So days like these are huge for the O-line, D-line.
What is a deuce block?
That's a great question. It's probably my favorite block in football. They're on gap plays, front side between a tackle and guard, and you're reducing a 3-tech usually to a backside backer. We have great leverage. We're able to run off the ball and really, open up the hole for the running back.
Now, Shotty also said something today that if you guys are going, and I'm trying to get used to the term, Terrence, so bear with me, Gotti. If you guys are going to be Gotti, it starts with the offensive line.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Gotti's greatest offense there is. We talked about it. We're not trying to be the greatest offense in 2026. We're trying to be the greatest offense that ever played football. So that is our standard. And for us to withhold that, the O-line has to, be in the forefront of that. So
Was that something that you guys were supposed to keep private and it got out and you're just owning it, or?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I just heard it last week, like second day last week. I don't know. I guess someone said it, and it's got out. I don't think it's supposed to be held. It's just, it's got out. I don't know.
So is that going to change from here we go?
Here we go. That'd be pretty cool, huh?
I mean, maybe. Now, you keep messing with your gloves. How big are your hands, dude?
Honestly, I got pretty small hands for O-lineman, I'd say. They're right around 10 inches.
I mean, how well do you catch?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm 1 for 1 in the NFL.
I want this is something that Brian Schottenheimer said earlier today on that podium over there.
Yeah, actually, you guys are wrong. Whoever reported that is wrong. And don't worry, I make mistakes all the time. But he was playing jumbo tight end. So when the twos are up, we try not to move the tackles around. So we played him on the right. He was on the right, but he was playing tight end. So, again, just things we're trying out with. Did you report it? Was it you? Dang it. Don't worry. I make mistakes all the time, so it's no big deal. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Until I see it, I told the O-lineman the other day, especially Terrence Steele, I said, hey, Kellen Moore is a way cooler coordinator than you, Clayton. He throws the ball to the tackles. Terrence Steele's like, yeah. So, but the guy, actually, he's a pretty good athlete.
Not bad. So,
very true story.
Would you like to do that in a game? I mean, one time?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, hey, for me to be able to say I did it one time is, every lineman's dream. So I won't get too greedy, but hey, if it's called, it's my job to do it again. I'll definitely do it.
Oh no, you got a campaign for it, right? I mean, how often do you go to Clayton Adams or whoever, and how much work do you get in running and repping those plays? So when it is called in the game, I mean, look, if we're talking about Gotti, and go back into history, there's got to be a Terrence Steele touchdown, does there not?
100%. No, man, Clayton's a former O-line guy. He understands all that. And to your point about reps and stuff, like I'm out there like in the morning walkthroughs, I'm throwing the ball. I get out there 10 minutes before, I'm throwing the ball. Whoever's out there, I love playing catch. It kind of just takes my mind off things and just so I'm always getting little reps in here and there. So I got hands. They're ready when needed.
I think that's cool, man, and I'd love to see something like that happen. We're going to watch throughout the season, man, just to see if maybe get number 2 this year. That'd be great. I want to ask you a question because you always hear the offensive line and the relationship with your quarterback. And obviously, I was just kidding about prima donna.
No, you weren't.
Well, no, maybe. But how is that relationship with Dak Prescott?
It is so amazing. He treats us so well. We got a true brotherhood, between us and all the O-linemen. It's not just a couple of us here and there. Man, he loves all of us, and we love him back as well. We're constantly doing stuff throughout the offseason where we do our little Vegas trip right after the season, or Dak has invited me multiple times and multiple guys to just go golfing on the weekend. We'll do dinners, whenever. We're always looking for ways to hang out outside the building. And that helps build our bond. So
no, and obviously he picks up the tab, right?
Sometimes,
yeah. Well, he should always, right? But
we gotta show some love too. To him,
we hear about all the trips with the receivers and that kind of work. Yeah. It seems like with the offensive lineman, it's more fun.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. Yeah, I think they went to Vegas after he invited a bunch of us to go out there and watch that fight. I wasn't able to go, but. I know a couple guys went, so he's always inviting us whenever he's going somewhere.
What do you mean? What else did you have to do? The quarterback calls and just let's go to Vegas. I mean, what else were you doing?
Some personal stuff.
All right. I mean, that's called like somebody, I got to say, if you got a friend with a private jet says you want to go somewhere, you always say yes.
I know.
And then you figure the rest out later.
I know. It hurt to say no. But yeah.
Hey, it's okay. There'll be other trips,
for sure.
without a doubt. Let me ask you, Terrence. Everybody, we mentioned Gotti already. In the offense, we know what you guys did last year. I mean, explosive offense. The defense is much improved. Going into this camp, is there an added pressure for you guys to really go out there and perform this year?
Honestly, I'm just going to lean back into Gotti. I mean, just being the greatest offense there is, that's just our standard. So we just have to uphold that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're chasing. That's what we're going to be. That's the work we're putting in now. That's what we're working towards.
Terrence, as we visit with Terrence Steele here on the Blitz, 3 years ago, camp had a weird vibe in Mike McCarthy's last year. It just felt weird. We come out here for a week. Yeah. It just, from my perspective, it felt weird. Last year was different, but it was, Schottenheimer's first year, and it was just, trying to, I don't know, little differences from what McCarthy had, but, just this year the vibe feels completely different to me. Take us inside the room. How different is it this year versus the last 3 or 4 training camps?
Yeah, no, it's just it's the second year in the system. We got obviously a new head coach, new O-line coach, new guys in the room, O-line wise. We had that first year to get to know each other and gel, and then it's just like the second year in this training camp, we were just so much further ahead than we were last year. It just feels like we're like, I don't know, we're in a really good spot right now. We just have to keep it going, keep pushing each other, and I just love Shotty's compete every day mantra. It keeps guys going. It keeps us iron sharpening iron, making each other better. So
and when you look at Brian Schottenheimer, to me, he's so much different than a lot of head coaches in the NFL. He seems to me like a player's coach. You could probably address that more so that and I mean that in a way where he treats all of you guys obviously like men, and it just seems like a real family atmosphere around here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you hit it right on the head. No, he loves us all to death. No, he truly cares about us outside of the building and our personal lives, and he really takes that time out of his day to get to know each and every one of us and our story and our background, and having a coach like that, and man, really want to go the extra mile for him because you don't want to let him down.
All right, Terrence, I got to ask, watching practice today, hearing Brian talk about how the rules are in the CBA, was that harder at Steele High School than it is here practice-wise in the summer?
That's a great question. I think it was probably a little tougher out there in Steele High School. A little bit.
A little bit more hitting?
Yeah. More hitting? Yeah, probably. To be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. You still have family in San Antonio?
So I moved my mom. She was still living there up until around this time last year. I bought her house this time last year and moved her up from San Antonio. So now she's with me in Dallas. So I unfortunately have no more family down there. Yeah.
Well, you got to come see us anyway.
I do. I definitely do. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go down this year, but I for sure need to make it happen after this season.
Isn't that the coolest thing, though? Got your mama house.
Yeah, it's such a huge blessing. That's something I wanted to make happen ever since I was a kid. To be able to provide for someone who's provided for me my whole life. So to be able to do that is a huge blessing for me.
Well, Terrence, good luck to you, man, this year.
I appreciate it.
We're expecting great things. Gotti.
Got it.
I'm getting used to it, man. I'm trying.
Give me
I'm trying.
Here we Gotti. Give me your Dak impersonation of Here We Gotti.
Yeah. Here we Gotti.
Nice.
Got to make that happen.
Terrence Steele, Cowboys tackle, joining us here on the Blitz, San Antonio's own, that's for sure. We'll discuss what Terrence had to say and move on as we continue here in Cowboys training camp here in Oxnard, California. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Appreciate it. Terrence Steele of the Cowboys. As we go to break, let me tell you about Sammy's Embroidery and Printing over on San Pedro. If you need your logo on any kind of gear, whether it be a golf shirt, a hat, you name it, Sam is going to get you taken care of. If you need any promotional items, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps. and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, to name a few. If you need t-shirts screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. Uniforms, he has over 700 uniform lines to choose from all kinds of industries. And if you're running a business, he does a lot more than just uniforms. His new sign shop can do your signs, banners, flags, car magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. You know, nobody has better prices. Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround, and all items do come with a warranty. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900 or get into his massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410 across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio.
How about them Cowboys?
Live from Oxnard, California. KTFM, Floresville, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Nigel, I'm going on vacation. Don't touch anything.
I won't let you down. Enjoy your time off, J-Dog.
Folks, it's good to take time off, but your home's plumbing and air conditioning, well, when they decide to take a surprise vacation or start working overtime, that's a problem. Call Quarter Moon and we'll get things back on track, working right and at a fair price. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Okay, team, I've supercharged the coffee machine. It's extra hot and dispenses 10 times faster. Allow me to push the button. Quick, call the plumber!
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Surprise. Wait, do I know you? You use your Discover cashback card to have 5% cashback on restaurants all quarter.
Yeah.
Now, it's payback time.
Whoa, hold on.
Go ahead.
Oh, you mean my Discover cashback.
I told you there'd be payback.
You know, you have a weird way of delivering good news.
I'm working on that.
Activate and earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter on up to $1,500 in purchases.
Terms apply. See discover.com/5 for details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, You can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones says she wants the city to hold a revote on Props A and B and the Spurs Downtown Arena funding. She claims the city's budget deficit might change viewers' minds on the city's funding of the Spurs Arena. Pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney is going back where it all began. He's signing a one-year deal with the Houston Texans. That's a team that drafted him number 1 overall in 2014. He spent last season here with the Dallas Cowboys.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Back here on a Monday afternoon on the tennis courts in Oxnard, California. That's where we are. Cowboys training camp. First day in pads. They've just wrapped up practice. And Terrence Steele, kind enough to come by and join us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
Here we got it. Are you starting to catch on?
I'm not. I'm trying. You know, it sounds better from Terrence than it does from you. I'm just saying.
I mean, he's a lot bigger, and you weren't going to tell him anything.
I'm not going to tell Terrence anything, but yes, sir.
Stop.
He is a big dude, man. I'm telling you.
6'6", 320.
Is that all?
Yeah.
He looked a hell of a lot bigger than that.
Well, I mean, look, you look at a guy like Terrence Steele, and I can't believe it's already been 7 years
That's
for
crazy,
him
isn't it?
to be in the league. He got that huge contract, and but he's in a battle. And, you know, it was interesting, and Brian Schottenheimer brought it up because they thought that, you know, they were working some other people. He was in a jumbo tight end. But Terrence Steele trying to catch passes, you know, talking about the athleticism. That could be something to keep an eye on during the season. And when if it happens, you'll go, yeah, I remember hearing Terrence talking about that with the guys on the Blitz.
You know, I think it's great. And you know, the opportunity arises for a trick play like that. He says he's already caught a touchdown pass, but let's make it 2. I think it's great. You know, those kind of things are fun in football. Obviously, you can't have them all the time, but when they come out of the clear blue sky like that, and a big fella catches the pass, I celebrate that.
Well, and again, one of the things, and you always look at different players and stats, and I know there's some questions about both tackle positions with this Dallas Cowboys team. You know, their interior offensive line is incredible, but the tackles are they just have to be good, solid. They don't have to be great, right? There's not a Hall of Famer at left or right tackle at this point. But you know, one of the things when we knew we were going to get Terrence on is I was looking up his penalties, and there's nothing to talk about there because he doesn't commit a lot of penalties. Last year, he only had 2 holding penalties, 0 false starts. That's pretty impressive, especially since the year before he had 6 false start penalties. But to get down to 0, and I think he only played 8 games last year, but still very impressive for a player to play that many snaps and have 2 holding penalties, and that's it.
Well, I would be I might suggest a couple of more. Just, you know, you're going to hold all the time. Look, Terrence he's a great guy, but I think this year for him has got to be a big one. I mean, I really do. And I think he's being looked at.
I think he and Tyler Guyton both. When you look at the interior of that offensive line with BB and then Tyler Smith and Tyler Booker, I think you're pretty well set. I think the question marks right now are the two tackle positions, and we'll see how that plays out. I mean, you expect a lot out of both of those guys, certainly. And Terrence Steele, when he first got here, obviously was played well enough to earn a pretty big contract.
Well, that's it. And for an undrafted guy, it's always an incredible story when you look at it from there. So something to keep an eye on. Something else that we're keeping an eye on is what's going on in San Antonio with our current mayor wanting another vote on the arena. Do we need another vote for the Spurs' new arena is our poll question today on YouTube. You can go vote in the poll. Just go to sasportstar.com, and there's a shortcut there that will take you to the YouTube page. Or if you're on YouTube, search out San Antonio Sports Star. Mark White, District 10 Councilman, will join us at about 4:35. We have reached out to Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones. Right now, we have not had any kind of response from Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones. Now, that said, short notice, late in the schedule. I doubt it would be today. So the request was today or tomorrow. And we'll see if it can get in her very, very busy schedule. Mark White made time like that.
Yeah, it was no problem.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, no problem at all. And so I'm anxious to talk to him and see what he's thinking and if he can shed any light on why she may be doing this because I can't figure that out. So we're going to talk a lot more about what's going on with the mayor and her wish list. But again, if you've got time here before we hear from Mark, you go vote in our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube poll. Very simple. Do we need another vote on props A and B in the Spurs Arena and all of that kind of stuff? Yes or no? There are a couple of you that say yes. So it's not completely a shutout for the no votes, but it is 93% to 7%. And we appreciate the 102 of you that have voted, but we could certainly get a lot more. Dallas Cowboys training camp is where we are. Lots going on here and a big day. If you were with us for Terrence Steele, you heard him. Everybody gets a little bit fired up when they put the pads on. And Shoddy making some comments about what might happen the rest of the week. He seems to suggest it's going to get a little bit tougher as we move on throughout the week. We are live at Cowboys training camp. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you know you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online. Just go to mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Life is meant to be lived in motion, in the moment, on the go. If a sports injury or chronic pain threatens to slow you down, hold you back, or take you out of the game, Christus Health is here, right where you live, with complete personalized orthopedic care. Because you have a lot of games to play, miles to go, and life to live. Christus Health, your life, our purpose. Find care near you at ChristusHealth.org.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes. Cash in this football season in Las Vegas with 3 Circus Sports contests. Entry starting at $1,000 all with no rate. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action. Circa Survivor, pick one winner each week, no point spread. And the Big Daddy, Circa Grandissimo, with a $100,000 entry fee. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. 30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson in the morning.
On the AJ and Rob show, more fallout from the Dodgers building a super duper mega franchise.
If you didn't hear, Victor's got his own shoe. Have you seen his logo? And the Cowboys camp continues. We're talking defense, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
AJ and Rob, weekday mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm waiting. A slow crescendo, as they say in the music biz.
Here we go.
Something like that. I don't know. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live. Cowboys training camp 2026 here in Oxnard, California. I'm Joe. He's Jason. Look like, by all accounts, Jason, and we're doing the show in here, but we get kept up to speed on what's happening there on the practice fields by all the reporters that are out there taking video and such, and we'll get updated throughout the day, obviously. But it looks like today the defense was the winner.
Well, I mean, the defense did have a good day. I saw where Kobe Durant had an interception. There were some deflections. And, that defensive line group was strong, and you would expect it to be strong. And maybe as Cowboy fans, you're hoping it will be, just because you've watched how bad the defense was last year. And then you look at the depth chart this year, our conversation with Terrence Steele talking about going against Rashawn Gary. You got Kenny Clark, you got Quentin Williams. You've got guys that, weren't there all of last year. I know Quentin Williams came over in that trade, and the Cowboys are obviously talking to him about a long-term deal, and even D. Winters. And I think one of the things that surprised me during Brian Schottenheimer's press conference was just talking about the speed of D. Winters jumping off the tape. I can't say that I was the biggest fan of his, but then again, when he was with San Francisco, but San Francisco had so many guys you could watch on defense that I don't know how much I actually paid attention to what he was actually doing, if that makes sense.
Absolutely makes sense. It does. And so, look, the improvements they made on the defensive side of the ball cannot be overstated. And it looks like, at least for now, it's early. I get it. I'm not going to get overly excited, but certainly this defense is going to be improved tremendously from what they were last year. And if the offense can live up to what it did last year, then I think, boy, this team, the future is certainly bright. And I'm not going to say the S word. They're not going to do it. But they certainly have to be a contender and a team you throw in the mix for sure.
Well, I think right now, when you look at teams in the NFC, you've got the Rams that seem to be probably in a tier by themselves. And that does include or not include that top tier, the defending Super Bowl champions. I think Seattle is going to be in that next group just because they lost so many key players on that Super Bowl run. And I don't know, did they catch lightning in a bottle or did they build something? I don't know that I wouldn't have it. It feels like it's the Rams and everybody else in the NFC. But the Rams have to stay healthy. And look, it's August, and we're out here in Los Angeles, right? Oxnard, we're LA TV, and they're talking about, oh, man, Myles Garrett's not practicing. It's August, shut up, right? He's a veteran guy. I'm not worried about that guy.
No. Or Aaron Donald. I mean, is he going to come back?
Again, he doesn't.
He doesn't need it.
It's August 3rd.
That's exactly right.
Plenty of time.
Still some talk out here, and I saw a report that one of the Dallas radio stations was talking about the Max Crosby rumors. Not sure if that's going to happen, but I look, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to make a splash. Jordan Brooks, is he still a possibility to be added to this team? That remains to be seen. Jerry was pretty adamant about last week at his State of the Cowboys address that they would be willing to mortgage the future. Does something happen while we're out here this week or at some point in time while training camp is still ongoing? I think it will be, Jason. I think something is going to happen at some point in time during training camp. Whether it's the big splash move or not remains to be seen. But I still think this Cowboys team thinks that they can improve this roster a little bit. And I think there's going to be a move or two made.
Well, and again, I agree. And they're not shy about talking about it. They never are at this time. And I guess just because what Jerry said a week ago Tuesday during the opening press conference, and then you've heard Steven kind of double down, after practice today, Ryan Schottenheimer talking with Will McClay and Stephen Jones, what are they talking about? Who knows, right? Practice just happened. There was an injury. It could be all kinds of things. But because they threw that chum in the water, every time you see the brain trust talking, you're wondering, is something going on with Max Crosby? I mean, you and I were walking on the field earlier. I'm like, well, there's the tent that they were talking about the other day that made all the news because of Stephen and Jerry talking with Dr. Cooper.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but where there's smoke, there is fire. And you just wonder, are we watching, waiting for it to be the white smoke? And here comes the announcements that a trade has been made.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, I could throw this in. I saw a picture of Jerry talking to Charles Haley out there after practice. Maybe he's getting his opinion. What do you think about Max Crosby?
I mean, with Charles Haley, I mean, what are you thinking about watching some of those guys work? Because Charles Haley does spend a lot of time working with a lot of the younger players and even some of the veteran players. I mean, anytime you can learn from somebody like a Charles Haley, you're going to do it. And it's fun to see guys like that out here at practice that are still involved with the organization. No different than when you see a Tim Duncan or a Manu Ginobili doing some work with the San Antonio Spurs.
Sure.
And you hear the Spurs like, dude, man, you get to pick the brain of those guys.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool deal.
Well, I think it's very cool. Charles Haley, I mean, my gosh, what do you say about that dude? He's incredible, and I would take his advice at any position, much less defensive line. That's for sure. Just again, I'm not going to get too excited, but just being here over the last, 5 or 6 years, there just seems to be a different vibe. Mike McCarthy, when he came on, I'm not sure that people were overly excited about that. Although you thought, well, McCarthy, he's won a Super Bowl, he's done this, he's done that, and obviously that didn't work out. And I'm not sure the excitement was all that great when Shotty was hired last season. Everybody wanted to see, but I think he has turned a lot of people's minds around and that believe in him. And it's just he's a quirky guy. But he does treat these guys like family, and look, he holds them accountable. Don't get me wrong, but he loves on them too, and that's what he says. Those are his words, not mine, but he does, and he's got his own style, and I think that style is working when it comes to this Cowboys football team.
Well, it is, and again, you heard, and if you missed Terrence Steele earlier, go back and listen to the interview when we were talking about just the vibe in his second year, because again, I wasn't excited about the hire. I thought, well, what did Jerry do? He just hired a yes man, and it's not like anybody else was seemingly interested in Brian Schottenheimer. It's not like, oh, he's interviewing here, he's interviewing there. It's like, wait, Brian Schottenheimer, you got Dak Prescott, you got this offense. And now, granted, Jerry generally hires somebody with experience. And you hired Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
He has won me over. And again, I think part of that too, through the press conferences, he won a lot of press conferences. But I think even though they didn't make the playoffs last year, you could see what he is building and how it works. And again, we've been here a day, just seeing the differences in the energy level, so completely different than a year ago and way different than even 2 years ago in McCarthy's last year, which was just a weird vibe around Cowboys camp.
Almost like it was a funeral around here. It was really odd and eerie. That's for sure. Things are certainly different here this time around. That's for sure. It was the first day in pads today. Shotty says things will ramp up a little bit. He said he wanted to get the guys used to putting the pads back on, so they might not have gone as hard today as they certainly will beginning tomorrow. So lots more to come, obviously, from the Cowboys training camp. A lot happening in San Antonio, too. One thing in particular, our mayor wants a revote. Man, I'd like to have a couple of those games in the NBA Finals over again, too. Can we make that happen? That would be nice. Maybe the Patriots-Seahawks game. We could play that one over again, too. I don't know. That's what she wants. Mark White is a San Antonio City Councilman, District 10. He's going to have a lot to say about whether that revote happens or whether it does not. He joins us next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, I want to tell you about Kinetico Quality Water Softeners. You know I love mine. It is absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, the difference it's made in my household, it's just head and shoulders better than anything I could have ever imagined when they first put that thing in. It really is as advertised. And that's the beauty of the folks at Kinetico and the product that they have. It does what it says it does. It softens your water, which we need, doesn't run on electricity, which is a great thing. So you don't have to worry about it. If the power goes out, doesn't matter. You're still going to have soft water. Kinetico kind of speaks for itself, right? They are the best in the business, but they have sweetened the deal. They really have. And the thing that I perhaps like just as much as my Kinetico Quality Water Softener is the reverse osmosis drinking station that I have right there at my kitchen sink. Basically, for me, it's a game changer. I don't have to lug bottled water all over the place from the grocery store into my house, and then you got to deal with all the plastic bottles. You've got it right there at your kitchen sink. All you have to do is turn on the tap, fill up a glass, and bam, bottled water right there. It is absolutely fantastic. And they're going to give you one for free, absolutely for free. And they'll install it for you as well. So they'll have the 0% interest for 12 months going on too. It's a perfect time to upgrade your house. Upgrade it. Do it for your family. Do it for your house. All the appliances that you're going to save. Call Kinetico, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This summer, the honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich and pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonial.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavor's big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney who has practiced law here in San Antonio since 1994. Over the past 30 years, I've represented hundreds, if not thousands, of victims of negligent drivers. If you've been in an auto accident, you can choose a billboard lawyer, but I'd ask you to consider calling me. We have only one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. My team and I place a premium on communication because I believe there can be no daylight between an effective attorney and his client. I do not charge for an initial consultation. If you've been injured in a traffic collision, just call my office, 210-900-0400. There's no charge. I want to make sure that the decisions you make immediately after an accident are smart decisions. The other driver's insurance company and your own insurance company will want to talk to you immediately after the accident. My advice, talk to me first. Many adjusters play fair, but I've seen more than a few that do not. If you've been injured by a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Nigel, I'm going on vacation. Don't touch anything.
I won't let you down. Enjoy your time off, J-Dog.
Folks, it's good to take time off, but your home's plumbing and air conditioning, well, when they decide to take a surprise vacation or start working overtime, that's a problem. Call Quarter Moon and we'll get things back on track, working right and at a fair price. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Okay, team, I've supercharged the coffee machine. It's extra hot and dispenses 10 times faster. Allow me to push the button. Quick, call the plumber!
License number TACLA 88589E M1600.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Connecticut water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news. All those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Connecticut water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Connecticut only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Connecticut was built to work, not break. That's why a Connecticut was backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Connecticut, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
How about them Cowboys?
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you in part by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
That's right. We are live in Oxnard, California, home of the Dallas Cowboys training camp 2026. They have just wrapped up practice for the day, their first padded practice. We'll certainly talk more about that, but there is some news happening back home in San Antonio. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix.
Yeah, Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones apparently wants another vote on the new Spurs Arena project. Let's talk about it. District 10 Councilman Mark White joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Appreciate the time. I know I can't believe we're having this discussion. Why do you think the mayor is wanting another vote on this arena project?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Who was it that said it's deja vu all over again, right?
Right.
Here we go. You know, look, I appreciate y'all having me on because the public really needs to know that this $489 million that the mayor is talking about cannot go to fill this budget deficit that we have right now at City Hall. And unfortunately, she is trying to intimate to the public that it can be used for that budget gap, and it's just not accurate. This money, as you guys remember, is made up of project finance zone dollars, which are state tax dollars that the state of Texas has said by law, the only thing we can use the money for is the convention center, the Alamo Dome, or a new arena in this portion of downtown San Antonio. And the other portion of the money is basically lease money and tax money that's going to come from development around the new arena. So in other words, if the arena never gets put into place, none of this money even exists. So again, this money cannot be used for the budget gap. Why the mayor is doing this at this point is really anybody's guess, but frankly, it's misleading.
Well, and Mark, that's the baffling part about this. Everything you just said, I think people know very well. But even say this went to a vote in November and she won. The deficit's not going anywhere. So to me, it just sounds like a cheap politician's trick. Yeah, you know, it is. I mean, the entire city knows the budget troubles that we're in right now, and we're working really hard to figure out where we need to make cuts as a city to try to bridge this gap. But this arena proposal, which we know the mayor has been against from the very beginning, the mayor, I think, sees an opportunity here with this budget deficit to try to once again take a shot at the arena by convincing people that this $489 million should somehow go to our general fund, which again, by law, it cannot. So it is a cheap political trick, and it's very, very unfortunate that she's going down this road.
Mark White, District 10 Councilman, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. That said, Mayor Jones is not dumb. She's a very smart lady. I'm trying to understand, what do you think her game plan is by trying to go this route, ask for a second vote? I'm just trying to see the logic there. You're in meetings with her. Have you been able to figure out where her logic is in trying to go this route?
No, I think, you know, like you said, the mayor is not dumb. And I think she also knows that she does not have the support on city council to take this back for another vote. But I think she wants to give her base of support, you know, the indication that, hey, she's still fighting this, and it's city council that's thwarting her attempt here, but she's still somehow putting up the good fight for, again, that segment of the population that believes in what she's doing. But you know, frankly, it's very, very distracting. We're dealing with serious issues down here right now. Again, this budget situation where we're going to have to make cuts to programs and city staff and city departments and all sorts of things. And so for her to do this right now, again, it's politics to her, and it's really a shame when politics, are put before the actual needs of the citizens of San Antonio, and that's what's going on here.
Mark, it seems interesting. To me, this is the worst possible time in the world to pick a fight with the Spurs. Coming off a finals appearance, Wemby signing his contract, all the publicity that he's getting. It just seems like an odd time. And I'm seriously not trying to be funny, but I want to know, is there a possible way to recall the mayor, to have another vote for her? Is that a possible thing, or are we stuck with her for the next several years?
Yeah, well, the only way to move on from her is like you said, it's a recall that could take place if enough members of the public want to sign a petition and put her back on the ballot. That would be the way. But look, I try to stay out of that. My job is to fight for all the things that we've talked about for the last 3 years, which, again, city government should be about public safety. It should be about infrastructure solutions, and it should be about economic development. And on this issue, guys, I mean, look, I was on y'all's show last year, right? For 3 months. For 3 months, this community had a debate, and we talked about how this new arena was going to be financed. And then we did 6, 7, 8, 9 town hall meetings that I was at. And all across the city, we debated this. And then the public got an opportunity to vote, and the public said to move forward with this project. So now the goal is, how do we make this project as good as it can be for all San Antonians? And so that's what I'm focused on.
Absolutely. Mark White, District 10 Councilman, joining us here on the Blitz. We've already voted. We already said yes. Now, for the record, on our YouTube page, we have a poll question. Do we need another vote for Spurs' new arena? 94% say no, 6% say yes. But there are several comments saying, if there's going to be a second vote, can it be for mayor? So I do feel the frustration. I understand the position you're in. That was a well-done answer to that. You're a pro at this. But out of curiosity, because the mayor sent the memo, and apparently this will take some time during a council meeting, how much time, effort, money would it cost, and it could be ballpark, to even have this discussions before the August 17th deadline? And if it were somehow to get on the ballot, to how much money, since we're talking about saving money, would it actually cost if this were to get on the ballot in November?
Well, so, we should know that as we sit here today, this has not been scheduled to be on a council agenda. Right now, the mayor is calling various council members and trying to figure out, I think, what everybody's position on it is. Whether or not this makes it onto a council agenda for us to vote on before August 17th, I guess we'll see. But you're right. I mean, to the extent this were to make it on an agenda, you're talking about a whole lot of city staff time. You're talking about council staff time that have to, take place in order to prepare for such a hearing. So, it's certainly thousands upon thousands of dollars, really, that at least in staff time that would be expended if we really have to go to the dais to vote on this.
And that said, wouldn't that time and those the people's times that are putting all that working on, I don't know, the deficit that she's trying to figure out the best way to solve it? I almost wonder, is this a little shell game? Like, I know we got to deal with this. I don't want to, so let's focus on this Spurs Arena thing, because that's a hot button issue.
Yeah, you're exactly right. My team and I assume the rest of the teams here at City Hall and with the other districts, that is what we're doing. I mean, we are voting on the 2027 budget in just a couple of months. And so everybody's working on that. The city manager and his team are working on that. And to have to take a pause to deal with something like this, hurts our ability to focus on all those other things. And by the way, should this ever make it onto the ballot, if the mayor were successful getting another vote on this, then we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money that would be spent there. So again, I would hope that the mayor would reconsider this. We need to put this conversation aside and go back and figure out, what are the appropriate cuts we need to make to our budget today, and how do we continue to try to provide high quality core city services for our citizens. We need to make sure our city is safe. We need to make sure the streets and sidewalks are in good working order, and we need to do things to create jobs in our city, and all the rest of the stuff we just need to leave alone.
Well, amen to all of that, Mark. In all sincerity, I mean, that is what you guys should be working on. I'm just curious because you're there, and I know you guys have to work together and do all of that. And I'm not trying to say anything, but when you look at the rest of the city council voting for something like this,
you cut out there. You said when I look at what?
Well, when I look at you guys and the city council in a whole, do you honestly believe that she would get a majority of the council to vote for something like this?
No, I don't. I believe city council is there will be at least 6, if not more votes, or voices that would tell the mayor that we are not interested in going to the dais on this. She will not have the support to take this to another vote in November. And I hope that she will hear those voices and she won't press the issue.
Now, as you say that, Mark White, District 10 Councilman here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, because touched on it a little bit, but, the Cliff Notes version of what we actually passed with props A and B, because San Antonio residents have already voted yes. If you could, just a quick re-education on what we've already done for those of us that are a little just unsure, because she maybe is confusing the message.
Sure. So what we voted on specifically with respect to the arena last November is we voted on that county, what we're calling a visitor tax, right? This stadium is about $1.3 billion, right? It's $311 million from this visitor tax. It's $489 million from what's being called the city portion that we're talking about now. And it's $500 million being paid by the Spurs. What we voted on last year was that $311 million. And that visitor tax, people that stay in hotels and people that use rental cars, that's how that $311 million is being created. What the mayor is talking about now is that $489 million. But remember, when we had this debate last year, we talked about the whole thing. We talked about this entire financing structure, how the arena was going to be paid for, and the voters said, yes, go forward. We're okay with the 311 and move forward and finance the rest, because it was part of the entire conversation. So that's what's been done so far, the 311. The 489 million needs no further council action, no further public vote. And then, guys, look, we should talk about that $500 million that the Spurs are putting in. You guys know what's going on in Oklahoma City, where that ownership group in that new $1 billion stadium they're looking at, that ownership group's only putting in $50 million. You guys see what's going on in Portland with the $600 million renovation they're doing to their arena. And that owner is saying he's not putting in $1 of his money. Contrast that to what's going on here, where the Spurs are being a good community partner, putting in $500 million to the arena, another $1.4 billion in development guarantees. They're putting in $75 million to the community benefits agreement. They are acting as a good partner, investing in San Antonio. And that's why I always say there's only 30 of these organizations in the entire world. And we're lucky enough that the San Antonio Spurs are right here.
Yeah, and Mark, if you lose the Spurs, you're probably never going to get another NBA franchise or anything else. I've got to ask you this question because I want to make sure that I'm clear on this, Mark. Once the arena is built, It's my understanding the city owns that, and the Spurs will actually pay the city rent. Is that correct?
Right.
So it's a money-making opportunity for the city in that respect, right? But I guess the mayor wants more than that, revenue share and everything else. So the rent and the tenant part of it, I guess, is not good enough from where she's looking at.
Yeah, and listen, and I said it this morning, the mayor is entitled to oppose this project. She can say she wants to do something different with downtown. She can even say she doesn't like basketball, doesn't want the Spurs here. She can say she wants more studies. Whatever it is, she's allowed to do that. But what we cannot tolerate is misleading information. We cannot sit back and allow the mayor to say things that, frankly, are not true. And what she's doing here in misleading the public with respect to this $489 million and what it can't and can't be used for is simply wrong. And I appreciate you guys being out there to get the true information to the public.
Again, vote twice since they're paying twice, which isn't true. And that money cannot be used for any of the other projects. That's the part that it baffles me that she continues to go down this road after she's taking loss after loss after loss in this debate. Mark White, I know you're busy. And we certainly appreciate you jumping on with us today and clarifying a lot of what's going on out there, including the misinformation.
Guys, thank you for what you do. Appreciate being on.
Appreciate it. Mark White from District 10 on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online, buyersbarricades.com. We have reached out to the mayor and invited her on, and nothing.
Yeah,
no response.
Jason, I have to believe that Mayor Jones is fully aware of what she's talking about here. Again, she's not a stupid person. I think she's a very bright person, smart, and she has to know that this is not a winning battle. So I don't understand what the motivation is. It's got to be like I think Mark alluded to it, her just trying to please a fringe portion of her base of the people that support her, that she's still fighting against the big bad Spurs.
Well, in her base, though, I mean, it's not like Props A and B passed in landslides. So there are a lot of people that are against any public financing arena. Although I will say, Fred on our YouTube page, his comment, she does not want to be known as the mayor to cut programs or jobs or increase property taxes, because that wouldn't look good when she runs for bigger statewide or federal offices. And maybe from a personal agenda standpoint, her playing her long career game, there could certainly be some truth to that. I would like to ask her myself what her game plan is, because it doesn't make sense to me. And if it is a selfish, what's good for my political future, if she's picking these arguments, she's losing. She can say she battled and lost. That makes as much sense as anything, because going through this again and her asking for another vote, in the eyes of a lot of people, especially our listeners, at 93-7 on our poll right now, percentage-wise saying, no, we don't need this, it doesn't make her look good.
Well, I wouldn't think so, and it almost makes her look the opposite in my mind, because you have to know that this money, and I think most people know it, although there's going to be some people out there that fall for it, but that money cannot be used for the deficit of this city. It can't, and so I mean, most people know that. Most people understand it. Most people are educated on how this whole thing works, and for her to come out and say it, to me, just makes her look like she's just not plugged in, or she's just, I mean, if you want to, Mark White said it, if you want to oppose this, that is certainly your right. She has every right to oppose this project. And she has made it pretty clear that she opposes this project, although she looked pretty cozy during the NBA Finals down there at the arena. But I don't understand this train of thought when you know, and she knows damn good and well, that money cannot go to the deficit of the city of San Antonio. And so to me, it just baffles me where she's going and how she is playing this whole thing. It just, to me, is not a good look for her at all. Dallas Cowboys training camp is where we are. Yep. Day one, in pads, in the books. Day 2, they will do it all over again tomorrow, and we'll be here. I tell you what, we're going to talk some Cowboys. We'll give you a recap of everything that they did today, everything that we learned, and even an injury update that we have on one of the backup tight ends. We'll do all of that when we continue live from Oxnard, California, Dallas Cowboys training camp. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, it is summertime, and I know it's hot outside. My goodness, it's hot outside. And if you're running your air conditioner constantly all day long and it just doesn't seem to be cooling your house, could be a reason for that. Could be the windows are leaky and all of that cool air is getting outside and the hot air is getting inside, and that's not a good thing. So it might be time to consider replacing your windows. I've got a perfect company to get that done for you, Window Nation. Window Nation is an outstanding company. They're rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, and right now they're going to make it very hard for you to say no on any kind of replacement project. How about this? You can get 50% off all window styles. 50% off all window styles. So think about that. Do the math. 2 windows for the price of 1. Fantastic. You can also, they're offering 0 down payment and 0 payments or interest for 2 years. What a deal. If you've been thinking about this, if you've been putting this off, now is the time to stop putting it off and get it done. This is a great company. They've got all of their windows. They make them themselves. They make them to fit your house, and they do the job right. Look, I already told you about the A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Got a 96% customer satisfaction rating, over 45,000 5-star reviews. This company is for real, not to mention the fact that they offer a lifetime warranty. Think about that for a minute. Lifetime warranty. All right, something goes wrong 10 years from now, they're going to replace that window. They're going to take care of you because that's what they do. You got to hurry. This sale cannot last long. It is just too good to go on and on and on. So don't wait to put an end to your window problems. You can schedule a fast, free consultation right now. All you have to do is go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now. Full coverage of Dallas Cowboys training camp brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio.
How about it, Cowboys?
Live from Oxnard, California. KTFM, Floresville, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's go to Vegas.
It's Jason and Joe from the Blitz. Join us at Circa Las Vegas in August for the Circa Sports Ultimate Contest Weekend. The Blitz will be live at Circa August 27th and 28th. And then, of course, we're staying for the weekend. So come to Vegas with us for the Ultimate Contest Weekend.
Circa Survivor, Circa Million, Circa Grandissimo are back. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. So join the Blitz at Circa Las Vegas. More details and discounted rooms, visit circasports.com. That's circasports.com.
Still using the I got a guy approach for your digital marketing? Relying on one person in today's rapidly shifting online landscape is costing you more in lost opportunities. You need the deep bench expertise of Conrex Digital. We provide more than just a presence. We deliver results. From high converting websites and SEO to engaging social content and lead generation on Google and Meta, we handle it all. Dominate your competition with expert programmatic and streaming TV campaigns. Bold marketing, real results. Visit conrexdigital.com. Conrex Digital makes it happen.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Nobody builds a business without hearing a few reasons it won't work. Too risky, too crowded, too ambitious. But the people who move things forward usually hear those words first. Because growing a business takes more than optimism. It takes nerve, and eventually, a partner built for what's next. That's Next Rodeo. Big thinking, proven creative. For businesses still moving forward. Next Rodeo, the difference between the business you have and the business you want. Meet us at thenextrodeo.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Big Ten and the SEC have agreed to support the Protect College Sports Act, a Senate bill that seeks to regulate college sports after receiving last-minute concessions over language regarding third-party name, image, likeness deals and the so-called associated entities. UTSA quarterback Owen McCown has been named to the Maxwell Award watch list second straight year. He is one of the 81 FBS players up for that award.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagle. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, what a Monday it has been. Hope your Monday is going just the way you want it to go. Thanks for joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix, and we are here live in Oxnard, Dallas Cowboys training camp. Turn your mic on there, brother. Yeah,
exactly. I do this by myself now. Where's Pledge?
My goodness.
I kid. Look, I mean, you think about the first padded practice defense seemingly won the day today.
Yeah.
Which, again, when you've got the greatest offense there is.
Oh, my gosh.
And the defense wins the day, I think that's a good sign because aren't we all looking for an improved defense, right? I mean, what is Christian Parker's impact going to be? How much better? They added a lot of people, but how much better can they be? Which, granted, they don't have to be a lot better to be better than the crap that they were last year. But when you start looking at what was on display today with physical play from your safety groups, and obviously Caleb Downs had a bunch of highlights. You had some secondary guys really playing well, and you're reading that the Cowboys weren't able to do much in the run game. That's a pretty good day. I mean, Dak did have a great touchdown pass to Ferguson in the
it was because it was a great catch by Fergie.
The red zone. I mean, you know,
that catch by Fergie was what made it.
I mean, but again, though, right? Now, Grant, we're talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
Practice.
But
that's what we're talking about.
Would you be? I'm trying to think, because when you get a quarterback as polarizing as Dak Prescott, right? If he throws an interception, which he did today, Kobe Durant picked him up, and on a beautiful play from Kobe Durant. But Dak, here we go, midseason form. Yeah, it's like nobody blows up Patrick Mahomes for drilling his center in the back of the head.
Well, we don't know what happened in Kansas City or what they said. I don't know.
I mean, seriously, I mean, you make fun of it, but it is. I mean, but if Dak were to have done that,
well, yeah, Mahomes got 3 rings. I mean, there's a difference.
Again, though, has Mahomes lost it? I mean, he's rolling out against nobody and drills his center in the back of the head. It is funny as hell. And I'm sure the center was thrilled to get pegged by Patrick Mahomes that way. But when you look at it, the defense has a good day against that offense. That is something that we should talk about in a good way without making it sound like you're ripping Dak Prescott in the offense, because the offense will have its days where it wins and you go, oh crap, this defense still sucks. Right? It is practice. It's against them, which, again, you take what you watch and you learn from it. But that joint practice next week with the Rams will tell you a lot more, because what we do know is, and this is a surprise to nobody for the Cowboys that is worth a damn that you care about is going to see any time in the preseason. Brian Schottenheimer even said that again today.
I actually kind of like it. I really do. I mean, I think you have to be more organized. I think you have to do a really good job of explaining to the guys what you want. I mean, if you would let my dad practice 4 times a day, he would have. Probably did. Self-report. Love you, Pops. But Dick Vermeil was that way. Coach Vermeil texted me the other day, and I was remembering, 3-a-days in St. Louis, whether it was legal or not. I was just a QC running to get water for people and running cards and things like that. But I remember 3. So I think at the end of the day now we can get the work done, but you got to be organized. These guys have to understand what's expected. And I like the rules. I think, I love how the league's made the joint practices more of a, something, a suggestion, because they want us to do it. And when you don't play your starters in preseason, which again, cat's out of the bag, we're not going to play a lot of our starters during the preseason. You need that work.
Well, you do, and I think what you're seeing here, the Cowboys have 2 practices, one against the Rams, one against the Saints here in Oxnard. And I think what you're seeing is a lot of this coming about because the NFL wants to add that 18th game. And they want to get rid of some preseason games. And I think they think, and Shotty just alluded to it there, I think you're going to get a lot more work in these joint practices than you do because, number one, your starters are going to participate. That's one thing. Than you do in preseason games. And I think you're going to see a lot more of this until they finally get that 18th game and get rid of one of the preseason games, or hell, they can get rid of all 3 of them as far as I'm concerned, and go from there. So I think you're seeing that. 2 for the Cowboys. They typically have 1. I mean, sometimes 2, but it seems to be becoming a regular thing, certainly for NFL teams.
Well, and you heard Brian Schottenheimer talk about the league encourages it. I can't wait until the league encourages them to put those things on television. And you know what? We'd watch. I just wonder if they were to do that, would it be less practice and more the way they treat a preseason game? And I thought it was pretty fascinating hearing Brian Schottenheimer today talking about how they determine the workload for dudes in the preseason games.
So we put players into 4 groups, A group, B plus, B minus, and C. And in that group, that tells us whether they're playing 0 snaps in the preseason, whether they're playing 10 to 15 snaps in the preseason. 25 to 35 for the B minus and kind of unlimited for the C's. I have a list in my mind. The coaches get with the coordinators and they debate those things. Caleb Downs, for example, do you play him? Do you not play him? We're having those discussions, and good news is we don't have to make those decisions for a while, but there's something to the young guys playing a little bit. And, we do it in the first 2 games. I think that's part of it. Usually don't play many of those guys in the 3rd preseason game, but it's something that, we're very serious about.
And look, I think the preseason games are what they are. They're to develop talent for guys that are going to be, are on the bubble making this team or not. But I think a guy like a Caleb Downs, it's going to do him some good to participate and get some action in 1 or 2 of these preseason games. Everybody knows he's going to start. I mean, he is going to be the starter. So he's going to be the exception to the rule, but he is a rookie. And I think just getting out there and getting in some run and a few plays, I think it's going to be good for him.
Well, and again, I mean, I think some of the guys that maybe you wouldn't expect, like an Overshown, but if he's a green dot guy, he might need a preseason game.
He might.
As the green dot guy, at least a series or 2. I just like the buckets, not A, B, C, and D. Nobody's going to be a D player. A, B plus, B minus, and C.
You're going to play the whole game.
Well, C is is C mean you're on the cut list, right?
Yes.
Is that what that means? You're in the C group. Oh crap!
Yeah.
I'm you talk about on the bubble, or you've got no shot in hell of ever making the team. So invite your mama to the preseason game because that's the only time she'll see you in this uniform.
Yeah, and enjoy playing because you're going to play most of the game, and that's probably going to be it for you unless somebody else picks you up.
Enjoy Canada.
We met a dude who works for ESPN Canada out there on the field today.
Yeah, TSN is what they call it up there.
And said that he played Canadian football.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting, and said he played a couple of years in the NFL and then went up to Canada and played there. I asked him if it was still doing well, and he says, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They get 25,000, 30,000 for a game.
But it's all about the NFL.
That's it.
Up there in Canada.
That's what he said.
It's everywhere.
Well, of course it is.
Yes.
I mean, what else is it going to be? Goodness gracious. Are you kidding me? The NFL is king, and it ain't even close, y'all. That's what we're doing here in Oxnard today, covering the Dallas Cowboys. Lots of things going on here, and there was an injury today to a backup tight end, Princeton Font. Getting an MRI, we're told. I haven't seen the results of that, but it is a knee injury. They have confirmed that, and it didn't look good. Now, I know Font got into a few games last year, not much, doesn't play a whole lot, and why would he? They've got the best tight end in the league in Jake Ferguson. So
don't forget Schoonmaker and
who?
Brevin Spanford.
Yeah.
I mean, he is so far down on the depth chart. Now he's been around.
Now he really is.
Again,
his season could be over.
Brevin Spanford and Schoonmaker, who right now I'm looking at third on the depth chart.
Schoonmaker?
Yeah.
He's a C. Or is he a B minus?
Well, he was a second-round draft pick, so he'll be a C guy.
Yeah, I think he will be, man. I mean, that's another nice Michigan man that they unfortunately drafted. But that's the way that happens. Mario on San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page kind of calling you out. He said, Jason, you should have just said Pat Mahomes pegged the center from behind.
I'm glad you guys caught that.
Well, I'm just saying, what's going on in Kansas City? I thought Mahomes was happily married.
He is.
All right. Well, I guess sometimes you get close to your center.
You just got to go watch the video.
Yeah.
Let's face it. The relationship between quarterback and center is unlike any other on an NFL team.
This is true. And what I love about our listeners, all of you, male, female, or whatever, all of you are as immature as Jason and I.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe not that much, but you've got that. And so, Mario, we appreciate the comment. We got a lot more to do here from Cowboys camp in Oxnard, California. And God, I wish you guys could see the beautiful day that we're dealing with. The beautiful, cool breeze that's blowing into this tent right now.
Tell me, how do you see a cool breeze?
Well, I can feel it.
They can see it. If they're watching on YouTube, our banner behind us that keeps blowing in the wind.
And just look how relaxed we are, Jason. Just relaxed. The nice, cool ocean breeze, blue skies, and a nice tent here talking Cowboys football.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
Nothing better at all. By the way, go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page and vote on our poll there. We still have it up there. I want to get some more votes on this thing and see where this ends up. See if the yeses can get to double digits, for goodness sake. Do we need another vote for the Spurs Arena? 93% of you say no. 7% of you say yes. What do you say? Go there. Like, subscribe, and vote in our poll. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you about Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is their phone number. 651-5899. The website, quartermoonplumbing.com. You're having a situation with your AC, plumbing emergency, you call Quartermoon. They will get you taken care of right away. Maintenance programs, they are fantastic at it. In fact, one of the things they have developed over at Quartermoon is something they call a Breathe Easy package. If your house smells a little bit off, might be your air conditioner. So when was the last time you deep cleaned it? Never? Yep. So what Quartermoon will do as a part of this Breathe Easy package is they're going to pull and deep clean the blower motor, blower wheel, and AC housing. They'll clean the coil and then disinfect the inside of the AC cabinet. And then they're going to put a UV light in there that will zap bacteria and other stuff that's hiding out in there. You'll get cleaner air, a fresher home, and everything that smells the way it should. Again, if your house is smelling a little off, might actually just be your AC unit. So if your house stinks, plumbing emergency, AC emergency, call Quartermoon. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson in the morning.
Coming up on the AJ and Rob show, more fallout from the Dodgers building a super duper mega franchise.
If you didn't hear, Victor's got his own shoe. Have you seen his logo? And the Cowboys camp continues. We're talking defense, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
AJ and Rob, weekday mornings 6 to 10, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney who has practiced law here in San Antonio since 1994. Over the past 30 years, I've represented hundreds, if not thousands, of victims of negligent drivers. If you've been in an auto accident, you can choose a billboard lawyer, but I'd ask you to consider calling me. We have only one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. My team and I place a premium on communication because I believe there can be no daylight between an effective attorney and his client. I do not charge for an initial consultation. If you've been injured in a traffic collision, just call my office, 210-900-0400. There's no charge. I want to make sure that the decisions you make immediately after an accident are smart decisions. The other driver's insurance company and your own insurance company will want to talk to you immediately after the accident. My advice, talk to me first. Many adjusters play fair, but I've seen more than a few that do not. If you've been injured by a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Football season is here. 2026 UTSA Roadrunners football season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $110. Secure your seats for all 6 home games at the Alamo Dome, including Navy, Colorado State, and North Texas. Got a big group? Bring your school, business, church, or organization and enjoy exclusive experiences like on-field access, the High Five Tunnel, video board recognition, and more. Learn more at GoUTSA.com. That's GoUTSA.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet. Rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
For a limited time, get a free K5 reverse osmosis drinking water station when you purchase a Connecticut water softener. Clean, great tasting water at your kitchen sink. Hurry before they're gone.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here, and I've got a question for you. What if every month you had access to a different exotic car? Well, that's what Pascucci Prestige membership is all about. Instead of owning one dream car, you get access to an entire collection of incredible vehicles and concierge-level service. It's luxury without the long-term commitment. You know, if you've ever wondered what it's like to live the exotic lifestyle, this is your chance. Pascucci Prestige. Visit PascucciPrestige.com and book your ride today.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, Jason, here's a question for you. We've been talking about, now look, I preface this always by saying it's so early. First day in pads today, training camp, we're just getting started. But I'm seeing some other radio stations saying that the offensive line today got worked.
Okay.
Now, does that concern you? Or is that something to be celebrated? Maybe a little of both?
I would say that's a little bit of both. And typically speaking, you go to practice, defenses are ahead of the offenses.
But it shouldn't be that way in this case, should it?
Cowboy fans need answers on how good is this defense going to be. When you look at guys that weren't here a year ago or for the full season, weren't in Oxnard a year ago, that whole front minus Ezaraku is new, right? Overshown, I guess you would include him, but then he got hurt, right? Linebacker, I get that. Same with Ezraku. But when you look at the Kenny Clarks and the Quinnen Williams and the Rashawn Garys and the D Winners, they're all new. And we know what Quinnen Williams was with the New York Jets, a Pro Bowl player that has never been to a playoff game, but you know that dude is a beast, right? So no, I again, I don't get, and I never have, and you know this, overly excited or overly down on a unit in practice. Now, if I see 3 practices in a row where it's just awful, then you go, okay, what are we doing here? But first day in pads, especially hearing Brian Schottenheimer talk about what the goals were, they're not hitting and tackling to the ground. They're supposed to release at a certain point, and players, wrapping up a running back are supposed to let them go, and there's some things like that. I won't say they were going half speed or 3/4 speed, but it wasn't bring it to the ground level. That said, there's a 3-yard rule around anybody wearing a red jersey. That means quarterbacks, so those defensive linemen have to stop at some point too. But I don't know how worried I am when I hear that, because I know the interior is good. The tackle situation is still a question mark for this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. And obviously we had Terrence Steele on with us a couple hours ago, I guess it was, or so.
Yeah.
And he's a guy, he's one of the offensive linemen that is in question. And he obviously right tackle, Tyler Guyton at left tackle. Those two guys are the guys I think that are going to get a lot of attention. And when Shotty talks about he's going to start the best 5 guys, I think the first 3 are solid. When you got Cooper Beebe at center, you got Tyler Smith at one guard, and then Tyler Booker at the other. That interior seems to be solid. It's the tackle positions that I think bear watching as we go on throughout the week, because Shotty did say there's going to be a lot more one-on-one type work as we go through today. Players getting used to the pads, putting them back on again, and then it's going to get it's steadily more difficult as we go through the week.
And when you look at the secondary play, they made some plays today. Last week, granted, no pads on, the offense was torching that defense. There were, George Pickens the other day made a couple of incredible catches. Well, there's others, would you call pass interference on that or not? I'm just looking at it, but you're going to have different units are going to win. At the end of the day, I don't know who won. It was a toss-up. That's not good. The defense needed a win like this. I'm excited that the defense dominated today, because that's a group that I don't want to say lacks confidence, because we don't know them, but I think fans lack confidence in that defense. So if they're hearing that the defense won the day, I don't think you hear that and go, oh, our offense must suck now, because they've got the greatest offense there is. Just ask them, right?
Well, that's what they've been saying, and maybe we ought to pump the brakes on that just a little bit until we get into the season. I get it. It's a nice battle cry. I think a couple of guys that we're not talking about that deserve a shout-out is Siobhan Revelle, who had a hell of a day today. And the Cowboys not knowing exactly where he is and is he fully recovered? Looked like it was today. The other one, DeMarvion Overshown, who also made some plays today. And so I think when you look at those two guys, Revelle, a mystery, a question mark. Obviously didn't play last year, coming off the injury that he had, and he just wasn't quite ready. And then Overshown, obviously some injury troubles as well. But today, at least, those two guys, they had a good day.
Well, and again, you look like Todd Archer tweeted out, good day for Revelle in particular. Looked as confident as he has his time on the field here. 3 pass breakups. So, when you look at that, all right, because Todd Archer's out there covering everything. The other thing that Todd Archer tweeted out, another sign that Overshown is okay, he flew through the line on a run and absolutely blew up lead block from fullback Hunter Lupke with such a loud thud that everyone was hollering after the play. Those are the kind of things that I look for, like Overshown. All right, first day of practice, go light somebody up, and he did.
Well, and it shows he's got confidence and that the injury's healed and that he's 100%. And I think it's the same for Ravel. They're flying around out there. But the entire secondary, Shotty today talked about Pickens and CD Lamb. Those two guys were quiet. And the one reason why they were quiet was the play of the secondary today. So again, I think it's good going for the if this defense is that much improved. And again, it's one day. Not going to get overly excited about it, but for this one day, if the defense dominated, it's good for that offense to go up against a defense like that, and vice versa. It's only going to make them better. The other saying they like around here is iron sharpens iron, and I think it certainly did today.
Well, it did. And in fact, I saw Nick Harris from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram had video of Overshown blowing up Hunter Luepke. I retweeted it, but yeah, you could see it. I mean, and you see the hitting that's going on, and that's what you want to see from this Dallas Cowboy team. I love the fact that Christian Parker's defense seemingly dominated the day in really all three levels. The down linemen, your linebackers, and your secondary had a great day. Knowing what this offense is capable of, I think for fans out there, some confidence, and hopefully not false confidence, that this defense is going to be far improved over the product we saw on the field a year ago.
Well, it's going to be interesting today because naturally when the team gets done on the practice field, they're going to go inside. They're showering, but they've got meetings. And so they're going to look at the film today. And that offense, I think, it's going to be eye-opening for them. And how do they respond coming back out here tomorrow? And it's going to be interesting to see. There was I think it was James Houston who had a sack today. And when you say sack, they're not actually hitting Dak Prescott or Sam Howell or Joe Milton, but it would have been a sack had they continued on. And apparently that's his second. So, look, there's a lot of guys out here making a name. And, again, this is when I put more stock in it than I did last week. Last week is last week, and it's just, you're just doing stuff. Today, you put the pads on, and as we go through the week, we'll be able to tell. How does the offense respond to things tomorrow? Do they win the day tomorrow? Does the defense take them down again?
Well, and again, I think – you're going to have ebbs and flows during a training camp practice. And typically, defenses should be ahead of offenses. This offense, going into year 2 under Schottenheimer, and they're all competitors. Dak is a competitor. He doesn't like to lose. Jordan Pickens doesn't like to lose. So, yeah. And so, some of the trash talking. I can't wait till we get our first big fight.
We haven't had that yet.
I mean, we haven't seen that yet.
Or will that be next week?
Well, when the Rams are
when
here?
the Rams are
well,
here.
Of course there'll be fights when the Rams are here. But teammates against teammates when the trash talking and the competitive nature, and you see that all the time. Now, as we talk about the defense and defense improving, Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Houston Texans today. It's where his career started. By all accounts, the Cowboys were not interested in bringing him back. There was some talk that he was talking to Seattle. And so you think about the defending Super Bowl champions looking to make their defense better. For whatever reason, he chose Houston, which is cool. There's still some guys out there that are veteran guys that are unsigned. Von Miller he's posted on social many times with the Cowboys, but he's got one today. And quite honestly, I don't think this is much because he's not here in Oxnard, but a lot of people are wondering on social, is he? The answer is no. But there's a guy here wearing a hat from his farm, and he autographed it, and somebody took a picture of that hat and he posted that, but he tagged it Oxnard. And I think that's why some people are wondering if he is here.
Well, that would be interesting, but he's another guy that ain't coming to training camp now.
No.
I mean, if he were to sign with the Cowboys or anybody else, it's going to be, he's going to come in maybe the last week, maybe the last 10 days, whatever the case may be. So he's another one of those guys that you're not going to see in training camp, and he's going to take his time, even if he's got a deal worked out. I mean, you can see the Cowboys or anybody else for that matter say, you just take it easy, keep working out, and we'll meet up with you when we meet up with you.
Yeah, but the hat that he autographed, being worn by a photographer, Green Pasture Chicken, and he also tags Meat Church in it. But he did tag at Oxnard. He's not here. In fact, in his story, now granted, it was yesterday, and planes can get you here quickly. It looked like he was at his pool at home. But no.
Which is where he should be.
Yeah, to my knowledge, Von Miller is not here.
No.
And if you follow his story, right after that picture is some Max Crosby interview. So there's all kinds of stuff going on with Von's social media.
There would be, the media would be buzzing if Von Miller were here.
Oh.
We would know it if he was here, especially if he was out on the practice field. He's not here. So, but again, you talk about that. You talk about Max Crosby. You talk about a Von Miller. I believe the Cowboys will do something before this training camp is over. And selfishly, I hope it happens this week. But yeah. I just, with all the smoke that's been going around, with Jerry starting the talking points on Tuesday at the State of the Cowboys address, that he would mind mortgaging the future. Steven has backed him up on that. I just think that they're looking for something, whether that be linebacker or edge rusher. I think they're looking, and I would not be surprised to see them make a deal of some sort before it's all said and done.
When you look at that, I'm not looking for a deal with all the words that have been spoken by the Joneses, that they go out and only get a veteran guy with not much left, or I'm expecting a splash player, not just a transaction.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to Google or think. I hear a name and I want to be like, holy crap, they did it.
Yeah.
With what they've been saying, that is my expectation.
Well, it's mine too, and I hope that's the case. I really do. And boy, you tell you, as solid as that defense looked today, day one, I know, but as solid as they look, you add a Max Crosby or I don't know, the dude from Miami, you'd have to feel pretty damn good about what you've got. I mean, my goodness. So we'll see what happens, and maybe that's what the Cowboys are waiting for. Let's get a couple of weeks into camp, pads on, we're doing our thing. Do we need to go out and make a splash deal? Do we need somebody else, or are we, as constructed right now, in pretty good shape to compete? And I think maybe that's the case. Maybe they will wait a little bit. We will have to wait and see. We are here at Dallas Cowboys training camp, Oxnard, California, day one in the books of pads, day one in the books. They'll do it all over again tomorrow. A lot of news from home, though, as well, with the whole Gina Jones. I don't even know what to call that, to be totally honest with you.
Politicking?
We'll talk about that. We'll wrap up things from here on day one of pads. And, I hope you stay with us. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to talk to you about my good friends, though, at Stevens Roofing and Solar. Love talking about Stevens Roofing and Solar. They're absolutely the best in the business. You should know this. And I'm going to say one thing that should convince you beyond a reasonable doubt. They've been in business since 1983. Think about that for a minute. You just don't stay in business like that if you're not doing it right, if you're not taking care of your customers. They care about their reputation, and they've got a great one. If you need a roofing issue or you think you have a roofing issue, call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Tell them you want a crew to come out and inspect your roof. They'll do it. They'll do it for free, under no obligation, mind you. And they'll let you know if there's any problems out there that need to be addressed. And hopefully, if they do find a problem, it's a small one. They can take care of that before it becomes a big one. The other thing that they do is solar panels. If you've been thinking about solar panels for your house, Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. They will take care of you there as well. Look, they're the absolute best in the business. There is no question about that. And when you're talking about your biggest investment, you want the absolute best. That is Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The granddaddy of all hunting shows is back, and we're celebrating our 50th year of the Hunters Extravaganza. Join us in San Antonio August 7th through 9th. Come see Gator Country, Heart of Texas snake handlers, enter the deer competition, and compete in the annual indoor 3D archery tournament. Discover the latest hunting gear and apparel, book hunts, and find everything you need for the hunt. The Hunters Extravaganza, brought to you by the Texas Trophy Hunters Association. Get tickets at ttha.com.
Football season is almost here, and just in time for kickoff, the new Roo Pub will be open in New Braunfels, in Creekside near the Buc-ee's. You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch any big game, any big event, and the New Braunfels location will be no different. Heading to the coast, check out the Roo Pub in Rockport, and of course the OG Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road is the perfect place for your fantasy draft. Roo Pub number 3, opening soon in New Braunfels. We'll see you at the Roo.
We wouldn't be celebrating America 250 if it wasn't for a strong foundation set by the framers. Hamilton built America's financial foundation on sound money, later embodied by the gold standard. But we abandoned that discipline in 1971 and have seen inflation erode the dollar's value. What's the foundation of your savings? Is it gold or something that can be devalued? Hi, it's Dr. Ron Paul, and I encourage you to speak with my friends at Birch Gold Group about diversifying an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Learn more by requesting a free info kit on gold IRAs. Just text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Let Birch Gold help you build your foundation with gold. Text the word SECURE to the number 989898. Text SECURE to 989898.
I like shorts that are pretty short.
What do kids want to wear back to school? We ask them.
I love wearing things that make me feel confident. They have to be like really comfortable too. Yeah. Nike shoes, running shoes.
Like I think I wear my Birkenstocks every single day.
I just wear what I want and I let other people wear what they want.
Right now at Academy Sports and Outdoors, get Nike, Adidas, and Reebok athletic shoes from $29.99 through August 12th. Academy. Fun can't lose.
How about them Cowboys?
San Antonio Sports Star, live from Dallas Cowboys training camp, is brought to you in part by AA Best Bail Bonds and sponsored in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio on South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What a day it has been. Day one, Dallas Cowboys in pads today. And, well, we learned a lot, at least exciting if you were wondering about the defense. And I think clearly they won the day today. And it's not just me saying that by all intents and purposes. Just about everybody that saw it today agrees. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. This is the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And as we continue our AA Best Bail Bonds Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage, brought to you in part by Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and AARP San Antonio. One of the stars of that defense, Kenny Clark, expected to join us tomorrow on the Blitz. That's what I'm being told now. Now, how it works is they tell you this is who we're planning, but a lot of things happen in 24 hours at training camp.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, later in the week, we anticipate we'll have Brian Schottenheimer on. We also anticipate we will have Christian Parker on. And we always are looking for Jerry and Steven.
And a Dak.
And a Dak.
And I don't know, maybe a CD or a George.
It's possible.
Who knows?
Or an overshow.
Or an overshow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, could be any of those. Or, you know, we might get Hunter Lupke. I mean, usually.
Yeah, well, you never know, right?
You never know.
We send in a list of everybody we want to talk to. The Cowboys PR staff looks at that, and then they try to accommodate us. So, Terrence Steele today. Sometimes, you know, they'll come up with a couple of different folks. And a lot of times that is the way, especially if it is a Steven or a Jerry Jones. We'll also get a player that day as well. So it all depends, but they're pretty good to us out here.
And I saw Christy Scales earlier. She'll join us later in the week. Mickey Spagnola.
Yep.
We'll run the gamut. Because it was crazy when we got in yesterday. It was a day off, and this place was a ghost town.
It was, yeah,
a ghost town. And I'll ask you guys too, if there's somebody that covers the Cowboys that you want us to grab. John Machota, Joe Hoyt, Nick Harris. Let us know. And the thing is, I mean, they're working too, right? So like right now practice is over in the tent that is right over yonder, which does you guys no good, but right over yonder, guys are in there writing and they're doing everything that they've got to do. So we'll see what we can do.
Absolutely. So it's always fun to talk to these guys and not only talk football with them, but just some lighthearted stuff as well. Because all of these guys, I mean, we look at them on TV or at the stadium on a Sunday afternoon, and they're just football players. But these guys, they have some pretty good lives as well, and some hobbies and stuff too. So that's always part of the beauty of coming down here to Cowboys training camp.
When you look at it, and we obviously a lot of Cowboys talk and keeping up with a big story in San Antonio from our mayor, which somebody asked, why the poll question today? For those of you that have been under a rock, Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones released a memo over the weekend that she wants another vote for the Spurs Arena. And that is our poll question today. Do we need another vote for the arena? Right now, it's 89% no. 11% say yes, we do need another vote. She has until August 17th to convince City Council to vote.
This is about 2 weeks.
To get it on the ballot. Now, we talked with Mark White earlier today out of District 10. He told us she does not have that support right now. The Express News has a great article going through what has already happened, because we've already said yes. We voted yes to Props A and B. Well, that is a Bexar County vote. Well, I don't know. San Antonio is Bexar County. So the voters have already spoken. And the city's portion, the way it is being financed, needs no further action from City Council and no public vote. She is trying to get that public vote. I have no idea why, what her agenda is, what her end game is, what her thinking is. Is the city in a financial mess? Yes. But the $489 million that is earmarked for the Spurs Arena cannot be used for anything else than that. That's legally, she can't use it to fix potholes or sidewalks or save some programs. She can't do it. Now, she inherited this mess, right? But at the same time, this isn't the way to go about fixing what is going on with the city. And what kind of seems to be frustrating Mark White is the question I asked him: how much time and money is spent just talking about this? And he said a lot, because they're working through the budget right now. So city staff are all now trying to figure all this crap out instead of spending their energy on figuring out what programs are going to have to get cut, because there will be some, what ones can be saved, and how do they actually go about fixing the budget. So it's an inefficient use of city staff time, in my mind, to even have the discussion again about a second vote for the Spurs Arena.
Well, and again, I don't know what her end game is, and it just makes absolutely zero sense. Unless she's just trying to please her base, her supporters, whatever the case may be, that she's taking a stand against the big bad Spurs. The problem with that is she's not a dumb person. She's smart. She is an intelligent person. There's no question about that. She's got to know what the truth is. And the fact of the matter is, I guess what irritates me more than anything is the fact that she's lying to the voter, saying that you're going to be double taxed. You're going to have to pay 2 property taxes or whatever she's saying. And that this can go to the deficit. And that is just not the facts. It's not. And so I don't like politicians that mislead voters, try to stir them up, try to scare them, because that's clearly a scare tactic that she's doing right now. Making people believe that, oh, boy, we're going to have to pay this and that and all the other. That's not the case. It's just not the case. And again, this was debated, as Mark White pointed out, for 3 months, 4 months before the vote. And the vote passed. She doesn't like the fact that the vote passed. It did. I mean, that's just one of those L's you got to live with.
Well, that's it. And again, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. She does not seem to be one that will let it go. So I expect this conversation to continue at least through whatever the deadline is for whatever meeting happens before August 17th. As Mark White said, right now there's nothing officially on the agenda. She sent a meeting to a memo to, I don't know, city government crap. But we'll go from there. Now, we have reached out to the mayor's office. I keep checking my text messages, and I've nothing.
Crickets?
Yeah.
Is your phone working? I mean, is it you got a signal?
No, I got signals. I'm getting, Cowboys PR talking about Kenny Clark for tomorrow. My neighbor Hal talking about the mayor and how big of a fan he's not of hers. I've got all.
I'm just making sure, because I didn't want there to be any problem. It should come. I tried. I couldn't get through.
Yeah, I've got 3 spam calls in the last hour.
Yeah, Oxnard's actually a modern place. It really is. I mean, there's cell phone towers and all.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Wi-Fi works pretty good most of the time.
Most of the time, yes.
It's crazy.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if this goes anywhere. Mark White did say this is not on the agenda right now for the city council to vote on this, and he doesn't expect it to be. So I think what's going to happen is everybody gets stirred up. I think this will quietly go away and won't be talked about again, to be totally honest with you, although it is Gina Ortiz Jones. And so for whatever reason, she is not a fan of a new Spurs Arena for the city. I just find it funny because, again, I'd love to have her on. It would be a civil conversation, Mayor. I promise you that. Jason and I would want to hear your side. We will push back and ask you questions, but it would be a civil conversation. And I hope you take us up on it, because we really want to hear your side of the story, because quite frankly, I don't know and would like to know what your end game is in all of this. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, as we talk about this, and if you're watching on YouTube, you see me returning texts. Are there available times that we could look at for tomorrow or Wednesday?
Wow.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. There you go.
We'll
So
see.
it might happen. It's very possible. I'm excited about that. I hope she comes on to explain her side of the story.
Yeah, well, that's it. We'll see. I mean, look, them asking for times is just as easy for them to come back and say, she's not available.
Well, exactly.
Right.
And that's possible. And that's happened before. But I hope she takes us up on it. I really do. Because, again, if you want to get that out there, if this is how you really feel, there's got to be a reason, number one. And I would think, number two, you would want to get that out to the public. If you are dead set on this and you believe there's a reason for it, then get the word out. And this is a pretty good outlet to get that done on.
Well, and again, though, if they look at our YouTube page today and see that our listeners right now are 89% saying no, we don't need another vote. Now, granted, to me, that's where a politician needs to go. Can she change a couple people's minds? Because she does. I mean, that's the one thing about this. Let's keep in mind, Props A and B did not win in a landslide.
Sure.
They did not. So maybe she feels like now that, I don't know, whatever time has passed, some people might look at it another way. But I doubt it. I just don't understand what she's doing.
Well, I just don't know it would get past city council, to be honest with you. And I think that's her first battle before it could ever be put on the ballot. And I don't know what kind of support she has on the city council. And well, she would need the majority there. And I'm not sure she has it.
Well, she doesn't have the majority. In fact, reading the Express News article, and again, the Express News has a great article, even people that I forget which city council member. I don't have it up in front of me, the article. One that was of the 7-4 vote, one of those 4 said, no, I'm not on her side on this. The people have already spoken. Another one said yes, but in a text message didn't explain anything further, which I don't know what to read into that other than if the mayor wants it, I'm gonna support her no matter what, is the way I read it, but that might be a little unfair. But you know what I mean.
Hey, and again, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they will find some time to come on this program tomorrow, and she can give her side of the story. And again, it will be a civil conversation, obviously, and we'll see what she says, and maybe try to figure out exactly what she wants out of all of this.
Well, and Miguel says she's not going to come on with you guys. Don't hold your breath. Trust me, nobody here is holding the breath, but we are always fair, always. Since I've started doing this radio show, we're not going to not invite somebody on for their side of the story. That's not how I do things or Joe does things. No. I can disagree with you. In fact, when I do disagree with you, is when I really want you to come on, because I want to understand your side of it. So the invitation is there. The invitation was there when this vote was happening, and she declined every opportunity to come on this program. In fact, the only time she has been on this program was during campaign season.
Yes.
And even then, she only agreed to come on after she found out that who she was running against was coming on.
Had them both on and one day and the next, and she came on, and we had a civil conversation. It was again that the Spurs Arena was a main topic of conversation at that point in time. It was just getting started, and she spoke on that and voiced her concerns, and that's all we wanted to do. When we've got a pretty big stick here. And so I think that, yes. And I mean radio stick, obviously.
Well, amongst other things.
Well, sure. And so, reach a lot of folks. So it's a good place to get your word out. And hopefully she will take us up on that. That is for sure. What a day it's been here at Cowboys camp.
I know it,
my friend. It's been a day. First day in pads. That's why we wait to come, because we learned a lot about the defense, a lot about players that you're concerned about in DeMarvion Overshone and Siobhan Ravel. Those two guys, Kobe Durant with a pick today, and it was a hell of a play on his part, to be totally honest with you. Not a bad pass by Dak, and yes, I said that. It was a hell of a play by Kobe Durant. You've got some guys the defensive line, I mean, stuffing the run. It was a good day today. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Again, Kenny Clark, we are efforting for tomorrow's show.
That's who we expect to have on. Make sure you stay tuned to the San Antonio Sports Star Instagram page at SA Sports Star, as well as the San Antonio Sports Star Facebook page, because you never know what's going to show up there. A lot of behind the scenes. And I dare say Rudder Room is probably in our future well, you can't go to the Rudder Room when it's light outside. Maybe around sunset, because it is on the ocean. It's beautiful. But, yeah, we'll probably be at the Rudder Room here in a little while.
I wouldn't be surprised, because we kind of crashed a little early yesterday after a weird travel day. But, we got to hit that, certainly. Extra innings with Pledger. I'm assuming Pledge is coming up next. You got a show?
I do.
Full show?
30 minutes.
30-minute show, Extra Innings with Pledger. That's coming up next. Be sure and join the fellows in the morning. AJ and Rob for the AJ and Rob show. They'll get started at 6 o'clock, and the Minix and I will be right back here on the tennis courts in Oxnard beginning at 2. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, here we got it. AA Best Bail Bonds coverage of Cowboys training camp live from Oxnard, California continues next on South Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys.